watching at a later time, this is your COSTCO earnings. Watch all the way through. You're going to love it. We got a little bit of everything. First thing I need to do is find my microphone. Here it is. Hello. What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? If this is the first time you've ever joined me before, my name is David Worrell. Thank you for joining me for the COSTCO earnings. Of course, COSTCO took a nice big old deep dive today right before the earnings. You can see some of these investors here are a little weary, but if we look at the overall picture, you'll see on the daily, we are clearly on a beautiful uptrend for COSTCO. I have some stories to tell about COSTCO. I think it's going to be kind of cool to kind of share with you the overall incentive that I've had with COSTCO and why the long-term buys sometimes can really do your account a doozy. So let's see what we got going on here. I want to make sure we push this out to everybody. So if you give me a 1 second, we will keep on keeping on with this free show. Of course, COSTCO earnings, they are going to be coming out here at after the market hours. So we're going to stay tuned for that. So within the next 15 minutes, they'll probably be dropping, I would say 15 to 20 minutes. Sometimes they don't happen right after. But then, of course, we have the earnings call, which is going to start at 5 o'clock. So about an hour and 15 minutes. We can put up that timer. We can do that right now. Why not? Why not? So we got an hour and, what is that? 18 minutes, hour and 18 minutes. Let's bring this baby down. We'll adjust the time when it gets a little bit closer, but there we go. And we'll give that a play. Throw that up in the top, just so we know when the earnings call is going to happen and nobody is confused. Bada bing, bada boom. You'll be making money real soon. What's going on? Dan, Bob Dan, the greatest moderator alive, is blessing us with his presence. Wow, that one was harder than expected to get out. All right, so anyway, we're going to push this out, guys. We're going to push this out, so bear with me. I might have a little bit of a silence here. I'm going to give you a little bit of that lo-fi music, baby. Oh, yeah, let's go. We're going to push this out to everybody so everybody knows. We want to know what's going on, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah, we want to make sure everybody's aware that we have the COSTCO earnings. They are up and that we're going to be doing them now. So get into the chopper. Oh, well, it's going to be a good day. We made a few trades today, locked in some profits. We can go over that very, very soon. Of course, Tesla locking in most of my profits, over half of my profits yesterday. And today it did have that nice pullback. I'm telling you, I have a knack for seeing when things go when they start to go up too high too fast. I like to take a little piece and then set my stop to break even, so that way we don't have to worry about the pullback. And today, in Tesla's pullback, I had no fear. I locked in my money. Let it pull back. Let it breathe. Let it set up another trend or base breakout. That way I can jump back in and get even more shares this time. But we'll see. Love the basing breakout. Looks really, really good. COSTCO is, though, the actual all eyes on it, because, you know, the retail and the trade has been doing an absolute doozy here. Let me just bring it up here. This is the greatest platform that is out there. You guys are more than welcome to use my link in the description down below. You can get this for absolutely free. If you decide to upgrade to the Essential plan, I get a little kickback from it. Of course, you get a month free. Of course, it is free, and that's how we like to sell it. Of course, COSTCO here holding and maintaining that 10-day moving average. It's really nice to see when you're on this uptrend here, this base breakout that you see in COSTCO had. Where I've been really watching COSTCO is this trend break. Once it got above its 200-day moving average and it formed these 4 or 5 new higher lows and these 4 or 5 new lower highs, these are the moves, guys. It's time tested. Anything goes when you have this long of a trend breakout. And when it starts to break out, if you can put your money where your mouth is, just buy, you hold, and then use that 200-day moving average as your stop loss. Look at this thing. You're talking buying shares at 500, and right now we're hitting close to that $1,000 area. Actually, I think it just did touch yesterday. We hit 999. We actually went as high as $1,007. So it's really nice to see. It's really, really nice to see. Let me just get everybody in here. Boom, boom. Let's go. Let's do this, boys. So yeah, what's going on, Zamara? It's good to see you in here. Zamara, I know you like yourself some COSTCO. It's a bit slower of a mover, that is for sure, but if you're a long-term endeavor or COSTCO is something that you use. I know I'm here in the States. We like to use Costco. Now you got to have a membership, so we just use our sister-in-law's Costco. Don't tell them though; they're going to come down on us. No, but when they have steaks on sale and things are on sale, it's awesome. It's a great place to go. You buy everything that you need in bulk, and then you let it sit. You got a freezer big enough for it? Well, then you're blessed. Fill up that freezer and let's go. We do have a vote, and I want you guys to vote on the poll too. Will COSTCO, C-O-S-T, ticker symbol C-O-S-T, continue its amazing push up even higher? So far, 71% of you say yes. Nobody has said no right now. 14% say sideways action is to come. And 14% say just here for the show, Dave. Well, I am blessed to have a community like you so we can hang out. Of course, we don't have to just stare at Costco the whole time we're here waiting. Of course, the show is about Costco, but if you have any questions about any tickers that are out there, we're more than welcome to go over them. Today, I'm still holding Lululemon short. I'm doing a short sale trade because I noticed how the extension here on Lulu, if you guys were with us last week, we did Lulu's earnings. It went right up into this $400 area. I showed you where the danger zone was. It's this line here. It's area of resistance, and you can see here it went much higher, much faster. When I seen it start to curl over here and create what I'm calling a head and shoulders pattern, because we have this head and these two shoulders, I decided to get in here when it started to roll over. Today, I took 1/3 of those shares off, and I'm still holding for the bigger move for it to come down to this 10-day moving average. Of course, you need to understand, I don't like shorting strong stocks, but I seen the overall market starting to curl over, so I took a short sale on Lululemon. Okay, now remember, we are here for cost, but we're going to keep going back. We'll keep talking about other trades, and of course, if there's anything that you guys want to talk to, you just talk about, just throw it in the chat. I got the chat up right here. I'm more than happy to go over anything that you guys are interested in, but today it's about Costco. Costco earnings will be coming out after the market closes. So we got about 15 more minutes, a little less than 15 minutes, and they are expected to come out. Then of course, in about an hour and 15 minutes, we have the earnings call. And I do have the earnings call right up here for you guys. I can actually just bring it up in the background while we're chatting about it. So that way you guys can see it right here. So I'm just waiting for this to pop up. Once they pop up, we'll have the webcast. It's all set and ready to go, so you guys don't have to worry about a thing. I have everything. Everything's under control, I swear. Everything's under control. But yeah, we're going to have a good time, guys. We're going to have a good time. It's going to be a good time for everybody, and we can go over a little bit of everything. I'm still holding SQ. It's right at the a little lower than where I bought it. My objective is to hold for the 10-day moving average. If it closes here, which it looks like it's going to, I might give it till tomorrow to see where it opens up at, because we're right on that 10-day moving average. Of course, I don't have a lot of shares. I'm just kind of I'm a catfish right now. I'm bottom feeding, and we're expected to see what the overall market is going to do with this. Dan Bob just posted his Twitter tag right there in our Discord. Dan Bob, why don't you go ahead and post that in the comment section too, so people know where to follow you as well. This is our Swing Trader Strategies, our Twitter feed on here, and you guys are more than welcome to go there and like that if you want to. And of course, check out our Facebook. Our Facebook is absolutely amazing. SwingTraderStrategies.com. Swing Trader Strategies on Facebook. You won't have to worry about any of that moderation, non-spammy kind of stuff. If you got spam and you're in a Facebook group, you need to be a part of this one. There's no spam. The only thing you're getting spammed with is proper information. If you read everything that is posted there and you really dive deep, you are only going to be better off. So check out that, of course. So SQ, I'm just kind of playing this 10-day moving average. If it closes below it, I'll be out of it. And of course, we're still holding Tesla. We entered all the way down here at that $23 era using TSLA because we like our 2x leverage. They move a lot faster. That means I'm in a ticker that's moving 9.2% in an average daily range, rather than being in Tesla that moves in half of that, and I have to spend 4 or 5 times the amount of money in order to get the same amount of shares, okay? So that's why we use TSLA. We got out half yesterday, and we're just kind of waiting here. We're waiting to see if it's going to close below a 10-day moving average. That's when I'm going to exit the trade. That is when I am going to let the price action tell me when I need to exit out of here. All right, back to COSTCO. We always want to keep an eye on our lover bird right here. We're keeping an eye on COSTCO. And COSTCO had a big run down, but look at this on the daily. It's still holding very, very well on that daily time frame. That 10-day moving average is holding very well. So it's very, very nice to see. Can you please talk about kittens gone wild? Which stock? Are we talking GME probably? I mean, if we're going to take a look at GME, we need to understand we're right in an area of resistance. So what do I mean by that? This is the price action area of $30. $30 has been an area of resistance, and it's showing an area of resistance here. If we can't break through this on volume, it's only going to head lower. That means there's more supply in this $30 area than there is demand underneath it. Okay, so we're going to see what happens because it is creating new higher lows on this, but all this wick in the top, it's showing there's a lot of supply. So if it breaks through that supply, then good for us. But if it doesn't, it's obviously going to head lower, so just keep an eye on that. What up, JP? How you doing today? XOM, so that's going to be your Exxon Mobil or Energy, because if you look at XOM, you'll see it looks a lot like XLE. Energy, you can see they look very, very similar. The reason why that is because Exxon Mobil is the leader in that energy. So if you're looking at XOM, you're asking about energy in general as a sector for XOM. Well, what I would say is it has been in this range bound sideways action. And if you guys remember, we allowed ourselves to get a part of this range bound sideways action. What I will say about it, if you like to play those ranges and you're not looking to make a lot of money in a short amount of time, XOM, you could play inside of these ranges, right? So where you want to play, whether you're shorting here or going long somewhere down here, you have an area that you can risk off of, right? You have a double bottom here you can risk at that 107.69. So if you find proper risk to reward, meaning maybe you want to play here risking 107 and your take would be 120, you know, that would be proper risk reward there, where you're risking $4 to gain $10. That's over a 2R multiple. So I see XOM, to me, it's not a trader, okay? It doesn't have these big moves. It only moves 1.5%. But if you are looking to play in a range, this might be a range bound type of trade, but nothing I'm too interested in. What else you got out there, guys? JP, is that something that you're playing? Do you like to play gas and oil? Are you more of a swing trader or a day trader? Let me know in the chat. But I'm just going to continue to hold this Lulu short. It's nothing too crazy, nothing too wild. I do like NVIDIA holding this, these bounces here off this trend line. It does work out. It does look very, very nice. And one thing I did start up here is, and let me know, guys, let me know right now, actually, because I've been thinking about this today. Who are we going to add to our leaders board? Okay, and we're going to add and remove leaders in our leaderboard as the day goes. Now, maybe not as the day goes, but as the year goes, right? So we know app, I identified this a long time ago as a leader, right? So APP is a leader. It's holding a 21-day moving average. This might be a great area to keep an eye on app because we might want to enter something like this. Also, Netflix. Netflix, if you guys remember, I entered right here on this beautiful trend break holding a 10-day moving average. Still holding those 10-day moving averages, still showing and proving to be an absolute monster leader in the overall market. Of course, we have Tesla. Tesla's been almost straight up. That's why we've exited some of this position as it continues to fly higher. What up, B. Stewie? It's good to see you. Dan Bob says, if you'd like to bless David with a cup of coffee, we now have super chats. Thank you, Dan Bob. I really appreciate you bringing that up. Yeah, we do have super chats now. It's just a little something. Some people were asking how they can give back a little. Aside from just getting into this and downloading this trader view, which is in the description down below, you're more than welcome on the old super chats, but we are not going to, we're not gonna, I don't think we're gonna, I want this to be just a free, such a free community. I almost don't even like bringing it up. It makes me feel kind of silly. But yeah, no, I appreciate you, Dan Bob. Coffee, bought, and that's another giveaway that we are actually going to end up doing, guys. We're going to end up doing coffee giveaways where I can buy you a cup of coffee and I can send you like an NFT or something where, say you bring up a good ticker or you're watching something I am, or you're rooting for the same team, we can shoot you a cup of coffee, and we can always do drawings, a cup of coffee every stream that we do. But it's something we're in works with Dan Bob. We're also working on stickers too. So keep all of that in mind. So back to the leaderboard. Of course, we are here for COST, and we're going to be dropping the numbers here in about 5 minutes. So keep that in mind. We're going to keep a close eye on COSTCO. I'll just bring this up. We're going to bring this up right here so we can see it here first, guys. And we'll just go ahead and bring up the news here. There. Now we don't have to worry about a thing. We can give you guys a bigger viewing section right here. And now we can see exactly what happens when COSTCO pops in here. What I will do on my side screen, if you guys want to talk tickers, I can just have this little spot right here on the side that we can keep an eye on things. I don't know. What do you guys think about that? Maybe I can do something like this, where I got my own little section here. And we can still look at tickers here, but we can still have COSTCO up. We can see when the news gets dropped, and we can keep on keeping on. One thing I do need to do is put this text up. Welcome. Let's see. Earnings drops at 4 p.m. Earnings call is at 5 p.m. Eastern. Drop a like and hit that subscribe button. Thank you, squad. All right, there we go. And then what we'll do is when COSTCO's numbers pops up, that scrolling screen at the very top there, what we'll do is we'll just put the COSTCO earnings on there. So that way you guys can actually see it very clearly, and you don't have to worry about trying to decipher whether those are up or not. Let's see, JP, I do a little bit of swing trading, mainly long-term holding. I like that. Yeah, I'm all about dollar cost averaging in to the overall market, whether it's Bitcoin, whether it's VTI or VOO. So I do like that longer-term hold. But it's very interesting when you're getting into swing trading and stuff. You see a lot of stocks. You're like, man, I do want to just buy and hold this thing, and then you start taking profits, and then you sell all your stocks out, and then you look at something like COSTCO, just like this, because I don't know if I've pointed this guy out to you guys yet, but this beautiful trend break. I had a few shares here, sold out probably within a couple of $20, and made 40 back in the day, thinking I was some hot shot making 40 bucks. But even back then, I knew and expected a bigger move. Could I have held through all of this? Probably not, but I definitely could have done a lot better. I could have done a lot better on this stock. And this should have been a longer term hold. I mean, I believe in COSTCO. I really do. I really like what they're doing. I feel like they're bringing the community some deals. They're buying in bulk, and we're buying in bulk, and we're saving a little money there. And I think it's a mutual relationship there. And I think COSTCO is going to kick butt, and they did. Are they going to continue to kick butt? Sure. Am I going to be a part of it? I need to see a base or trend breakout. That's my issue. I need to see a base or trend breakout. Now, I will say this. If COSTCO, the Whole Foods giant, decides to gap up in any meaningful way, I'm definitely going to be looking at something that I can grab a piece of. Because I think there's going to be continuation there. All right. Now, if I was a gambling man, which I am not, I would expect a bounce on this earnings. What do I mean by that? Well, COSTCO, it's riding that 10-day moving average. So if you look at COSTCO on this chart, you'll see it's riding that 10-day moving average. It looks like it pulled back just to bounce off the 10-day moving average. Now, like I said, I'm not a gambling man. That's just a gambler's look at the choices here, just like we did for Lululemon, and sure enough, that thing gapped all the way up to 400 by the next morning. So we're having fun with our gambles, our little gamble talks, but they are just talk. I have no money where my mouth is. I'm not taking any trades on COSTCO until after the earnings. Then I might take myself a tasty little trade if we wind up in some areas of resistance. Now, the market is closing here. It is 9. If you guys want, I'll give you the old cowbell. Here you go. All right, that's our trading day, ladies and gentlemen. Congratulations. I hope everybody's accounts were green, but now it's all eyes on COSTCO as we wait for the market's summary of Costco to come out. We're waiting on those earnings right now, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you are ready and willing. I do like Costco. I like where it sits on the chart. I like the technical analysis. I like this store. You know, there's a lot about Costco, but the question is, are the earnings going to make the consumers happy? Are the earnings going to come out and the overall institutional ownerships, are they going to be surprised? Do they want to continue to hold, or are they going to sell off into a spike? It's all relative at this point because the numbers are going to be dropping very soon here. And once those numbers drop, we probably see some volatility in this biscuit. We'll move on to the hourly. Let's see what happened the last time we had some earnings. Yes, major volatility, big swings from all the way from 885 to 918. So when we're looking at something like this, you can expect some monster swings here. So let's be really careful. We'll leave this on the 1 minute so we have an idea of when this pops up, where that price action starts to take place. And then of course, guys, just after this, just an hour after this, you guys are going to see we're going to have an earnings call. And things starting to heat up. Let me take the sweatshirt off. I should probably play some slow music while I do it. Maybe it'll up our viewership. We'll get some more views. Just take this. I'll just wear a bunch of different articles of clothing, so that way every so often I can take off a shirt or something. Maybe we'll increase our viewership. We'll see. We'll see very soon. It looks like we're getting a little pop there. We're at 990.42 currently for Costco, but we have a huge spread here. Do keep that in mind. This isn't the best for trading in the after hours because we have a spread from 989 to 994. Yes, that's a very large spread right now. $5 spread right now. It's even at 990 and 995. We're waiting for those numbers to drop, folks. Trust me, you're going to get them as soon as I do. And as soon as I got them up, I'm going to drop them on the screen for you while I read them out loud, because it's going to probably sound pretty hectic. I know the last time we did earnings last week when we did them on Lulu, when those numbers get dropped, I feel like I'm a racehorse announcer, you know, like old Sloppy's coming up the right side and he's going very quick. Oh no, old Shield Hammer's starting to back, you know, and just going on and on because it's just the numbers just come in and they come in quick. We're popping up to 992 here right now for Costco. You can see the volatility is starting to come in. People are placing their bets, they're placing their orders, their bids, their sells. You guys know sometimes what I do like to do, and I did try to do it on NVIDIA, is I place like a stink order or a stink bid, I like to call them. What it is if I'm expecting this to hit an area of support or resistance, if I see a big area of support or resistance, like if we come out here on this $4 area, maybe I put a stink bid right here where there's some support at 956. So in case this thing does just flunk down here, it'll slam my bid in and I can play that pop. But today is not the day for that. I'm not seeing a big area where I would want to really have this. Excuse the noise for 1 second. Sorry about that, guys. But what we're going to eventually see is this thing come back down and retest this. So if I wanted to play a sink bid, we could throw one down here at 919 and it might grab me in for something down there. And we could have fun. We could do something like that. I have no problem with doing that. So what was that? Let's just take a look at the price again. The fact that it would come down here and grab me at this area would be absolutely nuts to see. But just for funds, just because I absolutely love putting these stink bids out here, we're going to call it 922. Okay. We're going to come all the way down and you guys will understand, when we see these big spikes and these big pulls back, these big pullbacks, you think, well, you're never going to hit that bid at 922 for 10 shares. You know, we're just going to do this just for funds, right? So 922, we're going to throw it right here. We'll do it right at 923.50 and we'll just leave that sit. So that's our stink bid. Oh, it needs to be in the after hours as well. So I need to make sure that gets written down. So we'll go back down to 920 here. Come on now. There we go. So 920 there, it's in, and then I can cancel this one. All right, there we go. So we got a stink bid out there. Now we're just kind of waiting to see what happens. I am not expecting this stink bid to get hit. Do not get me wrong, but this is a stink bid. There's a reason why we do this. I like to throw them down there in case there's a big dramatic swipe down. I have a bid set out so low that if it does hit, the most likely scenario is that it will get drugged right back up to where it was. So if it's slamming down that hard, that fast, I'm expecting it to slam right back up pretty hard, pretty fast. Maybe not back to where it came from, but that's what I like to do with these stink bids. It's like, there's no way in hell it could knock me in at 922 when we're sitting up here in the thousands, but you never know, folks. And if it does, you're gonna see me make a quick amount of money in a very short amount of time here. And yeah, and you'll love it. And you'll love it. You'll say, you know what, I'm hitting that subscribe button. And if that's what I gotta do to get you to hit that subscribe button, that's A-okay. I'll do it, baby. So right now, we're just waiting for those numbers to come out right now. And then, of course, shortly after, less than an hour, we have the earnings call. I have it all set up and ready to go, so you have to do zero work. If you can get behind that and you want to give me a little something, a little smooch, hit that like, hit that subscribe button for me, guys. Helps out this channel a lot. We've been doing absolutely killing the numbers lately when it comes to these earnings calls. So we're going to start doing more and more. And speaking of which, what's the next earnings are we going to do, guys? What is the next hot earnings that we need to cover? Let me know in the chat. I'd love to know. So not long. Let me take a sip here. All right. Single line on the scroller. I'll try. Nope. That's the best I can do. That's the best I can do, homie. Wait, there we go, maybe. Yeah, I'm not really sure how to get one full line there. I mean, I could delete the bottom, but I don't think it's that big of a deal. Let's see. Yeah, I'm gonna messing this thing up. Hopefully that's a little better. That's about all I can do with the text there. All right. How wild would that be, though? How wild would that be if this thing just tanked, smacked 920, and then came right back up here? You know? I mean, we've seen it. We've seen it do that kind of crap. You know, remember when when NVIDIA's earnings came out, that stink bid was so close. We almost smacked a stink bid, and we would have made, I don't know, $30 within the matter of seconds, but I was $2 shy. You know, so stink bids are fun. Stink bids are fun. It's almost very, very low risk to reward, you know, when you look at these kind of things. But yeah, if we throw this on the daily, you'll see the stink bid's way down here. Like, there's no way, right? No way. But you know, you get the you get the right institutional ownership not liking those numbers. They'll crack. You know. B Stewie says, don't forget to smash that like button. Yeah, baby. Goals #1. Thank you, B Stewie. You are my main boy. You are the #1. You are the firsto, the exacto. So I appreciate you being here, man. You're always very supportive. Let's take a little peeky gander at Lulu. I like to where it closed there. We're out half. I'm just waiting for it to hit that 385, and I'm going to get out the rest of it. SQ, I don't like where it closed. Tomorrow morning, I'll probably be exiting this trade. And Tesla, we're expecting that pullback, so it's looking really, really good. But right back to COST, because I don't want to miss this, guys. I know it's going to pop up so dang quick. We want to be first here. We want to be first, baby. On that 1 minute time frame, it's showing that we're still stuck at 990.83. COSTCO is going to be very interesting, though. There is not a doubt in my mind that they aren't going to come through with some very volatile news, whether it's to the good or the bad. If you know what we can do while we're waiting, we can take a look at their financials. This is what I like to do, and I look at every stock. Now, of course, COSTCO is doing a damn good job, but we want to take a little peek at gander and see for ourselves. So what I like to use, I use this on TradingView. I'll just break this down so you guys can see it a little bit easier right here. So I like to look at this and always remember when you're looking at quarterly earnings, you're going to want to compare the same quarterly earnings. What's up, Joseph? Good to see you, man. B Stewie's not the bot, Dan Bob. You're the bot, Dan Bob. Dan Bot. So on the quarterly earnings, we're going to look at Q4 and we're going to look at Q4. And you can see the Q4 to this Q4, that it's pretty similar, right? 78.94 billion, and you got 78.70 billion. So it's pretty close. If we look at this annually now, you can see if we look at 2024 to 2023, you can see we have a very nice gradual net margin that's going higher. So the growth and profitability is looking very, very good for COSTCO still. It still remains very well intact. This was a can slim investors type stock years and years ago. Now, obviously, it's not going to have those 25% annually and quarterly earnings growth because they are the giant. They're going to be that slow boat, that slow growing growth. So COSTCO is looking really nice though. You know, it is looking really nice. You want to see this growth curve. It's slow, it's sustainable, and it's definitely something that you want to be a part of if you're in those longer term growth sectors. So we see COSTCO doing very, very well. What's up, Joseph? You playing? Did you play anything today? Did you take any trades, brother man? We did get some more 5-minute strategy stuff that popped in here. Today, let's see, what stock was it? LAES. LAES shown a 5-minute trend break strategy today. I thought that was really nice. So you got your 5-minute trend break right here. 1, 2, and 3 new lower highs and 1, 2, 3 new higher lows. And right here's the breakout. Half. You take out half at this high of day, so you've locked in your profit. Then you move your stop, which is this low, up to break even, and then right there's your break even. So you won. This was a nice, easy one called out in our Discord today. It was really, really nice. It was called out this morning as a stock to watch. Then it was called out again by Holy Diver as a breakout was forming. Right here is when he called it actually, and this is where we took it. So beautiful take, sell, sell. Beautiful move there. COST still not doing anything, just trading sideways. We're still at 990.21. Playing SoFi. Okay, let's take a look at SoFi. Yeah, so I've been watching SoFi for a while now. It's crazy just how well it's been doing, you know. Right now, oh, look at that beautiful trend break. It looks like it's happening on SoFi right now, holding a 21-day moving average, and clearly a beautiful mover for quite some time now. So yeah, all eyes on SoFi. Where do you hold, Joseph? Did you play like a daily time frame, or are you in a swing trading position right now? Let me know what you think, or what you're actually doing. So guys, COSTCO, if you're just joining me, we are here for the COSTCO earnings. We're going through a few different other tickers. So if you want to know any, if you want to bring up any ticker, you want us to look at any ticker while we're waiting for the numbers to come out, we're waiting for the earnings to drop right now. Once they do, you are going to see it first on the scrolly thing up at the tippy top. Believe it or not, yes, we do all the homework here for you. I am signed up for the earnings call. It's going to start in 46 minutes. So if you're with me in 46 minutes, thank you. We appreciate you hanging out with us. And if I'm bringing you any form of entertainment, or you like all this absolutely free trading brought to your sweet little ears, hit that like, hit that subscribe button for me, and I appreciate you guys. Yeah, Dan Bob just posted our link tree. If you click on that link tree, you can see right here, we're everywhere. YouTube, Discord, TradingView, Instagram, TikTok, Facebook. Do it, click it, lick it, steal later. Bye, baby. We're keeping an eye on a lot of the overall leaders in the market. And COSTCO is a big giant. It is a leader. We're here for the earnings for that. But we are looking for different areas in the overall market where we can get in. And so I am done wasting my time with garbage. If I'm going to play garbage, I'm going to use garbage amount, meaning if I'm going to play a garbage stock, I'm going to put in such a meaningless amount that I'm just going to keep an eye on it, right? Where I want to start putting my money, and I don't want to ever put my money anywhere else, is only going to be in the leaders, in the proven leaders, where I can hold overnight, that I can use moving averages as key areas for longing these positions, or finding extended stocks that I can short. That's the only thing that I'm focused on. And, you know, it's been working out great. You know, you don't want to play garbage. The next day that can gap down on you. You know, I want to be in leaders, and that's what we're going to stay focused on. I'm really curious now when they are actually going to drop these numbers. Let the numbers drop, baby. Earnings call is coming up in about 45 minutes. I hope you guys are with me. And that time we're going to see what they have to say. We got to be careful out there. Those CEOs, man, you got to be careful if you're a CEO out there. No, but we did add another 5-minute to the trend break strategy. Oh, we're getting some movement here, guys. Let's go ahead and stay focused. Here we go. The numbers have just gotten in. COSTCO Q1 revenue 62.15 billion. It's net 1.8 billion. COSTCO EPS 4.04 billion. It looks like the overall market's taking that very, very well here, folks. We're up over $1,000, 106.28. Absolutely beautiful for COSTCO right now, ripping to the north side. We're going to go ahead and put this all up for you guys right now. This is absolutely beautiful for COSTCO. We're at $1,007.44 for COSTCO as we continue to rip higher. Let me put this on the 1-minute time frame so we get a better understanding of right where we are at, almost hitting those new all-time highs right there. 107.8 is new all-time highs. We are very, very close to hitting new all-time highs for COSTCO. You heard it here first, folks. We're going to put this up. We're going to put this up so everybody can read it here in just a minute. All right, here we go. Let me bring that. We're going to put this up on the top for you guys. All right, there we go. COSTCO right now trading at 1,006.83 cents. We're going to see where it wants to land. Is this the area of resistance? Well, all-time highs. Yes, they're going. You're going to see some resistance there. It looks like Nike has earnings next week. Yeah, we might have to do earnings. Boom, new all-time highs for COSTCO. You heard it here first, ladies and gentlemen. Hit that like and subscribe. You heard it here first. COSTCO, C-O-S-T, ticker C-O-S-T, new all-time highs, trading at 108.82 right now. This is absolutely beautiful to see for the overall market. Now we're starting to see some volatility as we're getting some whipsaw action as it pulls back down. Absolutely beautiful, guys. I'm seeing AVGO get called out in the tickers. AVGO is looking absolutely beautiful. Now that is in the communication sector. We'll definitely be going over that very soon. I like AVGO and it is a leader. I should probably throw that up with the rest of them. So thank you for putting that up there, B. Stewie. But absolutely crazy for COSTCO right now as they beat their estimate of 3.79 estimated. So they came out with 4.04, beats the 3.79 estimate. The sales were 62.15 billion. That beat the estimate of 62.08 billion. So it's a double beat. That's double trouble. That's bang, bang, baby, for COSTCO as it heads up higher. We're trading at 103.04 right now, but we did hit a new all-time high at 108.82. So COSTCO, yes, reaching a new all-time high here at 1,008.82. That's absolutely awesome. And I think we may have got that to one line up top there. Dan, Bob, what do you think? I think I think I did it. I think we got it down to one line. So that might please everybody. Everybody's gonna be happy. And Dan Bob is the hardest one to make happy in here. So if you can make him happy, we're winning, baby. We're winning. So COSTCO absolutely beating, double beat here. You gotta love COSTCO. You gotta love where it's at right now. $1,001 right now for COSTCO. Still extremely volatile. We're going to see some whipsaw action probably until the earnings call. They might start to kind of slow down unless they say something crazy, unless they come out with something here where their future guidance comes out something wonky or crazy. So we're going to see real soon. Yeah, I thought you might like that, Dan Bob. I thought you might like that, brother man. Let's take a peeky gander. Let's go ahead. Let's go ahead. Make sure we got. Let me bring up AVGO over here. Yeah, AVGO, nice takeoff. Oh yeah, so AVGO does have their earnings as well, and they really ripped up 192.59. So that's a really good look. Let's go ahead and take a look on here. 192.59. So they just broke out. So that's a nice base breakout for AVGO right there, guys. So very, very nice. For AVGO. We're gonna have to keep an eye on AVGO as well as COSTCO, as AVGO is just absolutely ripping right now. COSTCO pulling back. We're just sitting under $1,000 a share right now for COSTCO. We can take a look at AVGO and see what kind of news we have on it right now. As their Q1 revenue, about $14.6 billion versus the consensus of $14.5 billion. So they did beat on that. What else do we have on, let's see here. Oh, they also released their dividend, 59 cents per share. Mixed Q4 earnings, 1.42 beat the estimated of 1.38. Oh, COSTCO, big dump here. So correction. COSTCO just had a correction here, guys. Oh my goodness. COSTCO Wholesale reported quarterly earnings of 3.82 per share, which beat the analysis consensus of 3.79 by 79 cents. The company reported quarterly earnings of 62.15 billion, which beat the consensus of 62. So still beating, but wow, what a pullback here, guys. Now that is some whipsaw action. As you see, COSTCO here just pulled back down to 988. So now trading below where it was, where it closed, guys. So keep that in mind, below where it closed. And we're just going to bring this up right now. We're going to update the ticker above so everybody is aware and understanding of what is going on. Here we go. And that is the updated numbers there for you guys. 4.04. Let me see here. Yep, this is it. Okay, so you guys got the new numbers at the top now. It looks like we're bouncing off of this bottom right now. That is some crazy volatility, guys. This is what can happen. This is why we don't play with earnings. Right here is because we went all the way and made a new all-time high for COSTCO, and now we are in the dumps down here, trading at 983. It is selling off pretty hard. If we look at the overall look of things, it's still above a 10-day moving average, but we need to be careful here. This is absolutely nuts. Absolutely nuts. How you guys doing? If this is your first time here, my name is David Worrell. We do a lot of earnings now, at least once a week. So if you like these earnings, make sure you hit that like and subscribe button. If you want to learn how to trade, we have a free swing trading course in our YouTube. Hit that like, hit that subscribe button. You can be a part of this amazing community. It's absolutely free. COST is now trading at 987.65. I need to get a little sip, Shawana. This one's for me, not for you. Absolutely nuts. What a correction there. What a correction. Still a beat, still a beat, still looking good. Everything's, still intact. But COSTCO, wow, some whipsaw action there. This is why we don't like to play that. This is why we do not like to play that, because just this movement in the after hours, we're talking 2.83% movement in a matter of 5 to 6 minutes here. That's why we like to keep an eye on these things. COST absolutely ripping. We're going to hear from everybody on their panel in about 37 minutes. We got you all signed up here for the COSTCO earnings. As you can see, we are all signed up, so you guys don't have to worry about it. I do all the work, all the behind the scenes stuff. Me and Dan, Bob, myself, and B Stewie, we're kicking butt. We're taking names, and we're doing all this just for you, so you don't have to. We sign up for it, we stream it, we make the commentary for it, and we keep you guys up to date for absolutely nothing. So thank you guys for being here. We appreciate you being here because we like being here ourselves. I want to take a little peeky gander at my trades really quick, as Lulu's still sitting squatting, SQ still trading sideways, and Tesla's still trading sideways. So that retail, all of that did not affect my trades at all, as COST is just kind of trading roughly where we closed out. So we'll see very, very soon. AVL is the 2X. Can we get that updated, Dan, Bob? Can you update AVGO for AVL on our page for our 2X leveraged? I think that's pretty important that we have that, because AVGO is kind of a slower mover. It only moves 3.2%, but if we're going to play something 6.4%, I do want to be a part of that. AVGO would be great for tomorrow, actually. Definitely going to keep an eye on AVGO for tomorrow after this thing really just tore through those all-time highs. So that's really nice to see. Like, this is our all-time highs for AVGO. And now that we're above it, I'm going to be looking for an area to probably try and get in this trade, especially when it pulls back and retests the breakout area. If it looks strong, it might be a stock we might want to get in and hold onto. All right, so let's just keep that in mind. COSTCO earnings back at it. You can see here, this is the 1 hour. You can see how crazy this wick is. Hits new all-time highs, comes all the way down here and finds support at 980, and is now trading at 988. So we're going to see very soon if COSTCO wants to continue to head higher. This is some major whipsaw action, but this is a double beat for COSTCO. We are still above a 10-day moving average, and we're still trading above its close. So things are still good, even though we had some crazy whipsaw action. But nothing screams bullish more than hitting those new all-time highs. So COSTCO looks really, really good in this area. And of course, guys, why don't you take a look at the poll? The poll asks us, will COSTCO continue its amazing push even higher? So far, 80% of you say that it will. There's not a single soul in this room that has voted no. So apparently we are all in cahoots and we think it's going to head higher. And if not, there's 13% of us that's saying sideways action is to come. There is only 7% say that you're just here for the show, Dave. Well, thank you for being here. I do appreciate you being here. You guys are awesome. You know I love doing this, and I love doing it for you. As COSTCO, as we speak, trading at 991.66, is COSTCO going to want to start rip tater chipping real soon? I tell you what, I would be fine if it did, because I know COSTCO takes up a lot in the overall market. It's a big player in this game. You know, I do want to see a little stock heat map up here. Let's take a look at the overall stock heat map today, as the overall market looks pretty red here, and you can see it in the S&P 500, and it did have a bit of a pullback. Apple looked like it maintained a nice, strong push to that north side. We're going to see what happens there very, very soon. As COSTCO looking really, really good. What you asked me, David? I had a phone call. Dan Bob, my question was for you, if you would update our 2x leverage ticker page with AVGO. Can you add the 2x leverage AVL as you posted in our comment section, just so we don't lose that? We want to make sure we keep adding to our leaders. Tanner W, appreciate you, brother. Thank you for your subscription. And of course, if you want to join our Discord community, that's free too, and our Facebook page. I mean, you know, if you're going to do one, you might as well do them all, baby. We are all over the place, and we're kicking ass, and we're taking names, and I absolutely love it. So thank you. Thank you for that subscription, Tanner. COSTCO, baby. So COSTCO with the double beat. Let's see, earnings revenue increase too. This just came out. Analysts polled by FactSet expected 3.79. Revenue for the quarter ended now 62.15 billion from the 57.8 billion a year earlier. Analysts surveyed a FactSet expected 66.52 billion. Shares of COSTCO wholesale were up 1.4% in the after-hour activity. Depending on what time they actually took that analyst consensus, could be wildly different just because of this huge movement here. But it's good to see. Good to see everything happening the way it should, as COSTCO double beat above its area of closing. But I'm still expecting a little bit of volatility here at in about 30 minutes, guys, because we have that earnings call, that earnings conference call. The key thing in the earnings conference call is towards the end there, when they start asking the hard questions. The questions get asked by these analysts that really want to shear in and figure out what is going on with the money for COSTCO. What is going on for the future dynamics? Are they still opening more stores? Are they expanding? Are they creating deals? What are they doing to stay ahead? And what are they doing with their internet retail? There's a ton on the plate for COST, and I think we're going to hear a lot of those questions get brought up. So right now, COST is trading at 995.45. It's good to see. I like to see COSTCO here, especially because on the overall trajectory, on the overall look of COSTCO, we can just bring this up on the daily so you guys have a better understanding here. Let's just bring up this chart. Right here's your daily time frame, guys. And when you look at COSTCO, where it's trading at right now is right at its 10-day moving average. So when you look at something like this and you ask yourself, well, this whipsaw action, this or that, the other thing, none of it matters. What matters is COSTCO continues to hold its 10-day moving average. So if we're looking at this on a technical basis, on a very technical look, COSTCO looks very strong. It's still holding very, very well. Dan Bob says it's already on the list. Good. Okay, cool. That works out absolutely perfect, man. We want to make sure we keep updating that list. I'm glad that's already on there. But because I'll definitely be taking a look at AVGO tomorrow. AVGO looks absolutely wondrous up here, breaking that base breakout on earnings. Makes me want to get a piece of it right now. I'm not going to lie. It makes me want to get a nice piece of this right now because this base breakout right here is very meaningful. It's a very simple base breakout. It's blue skies after this for AVGO. The communication sector is very, very hot right now. It's on a fuego. So if you're looking at AVGO, this is a good area to look to actually take some risk management. And now personally, I can't take it right now. I gotta wait till tomorrow morning for AVGO, but I do like the look of AVGO. I really, really do. But back to COST, we're gonna take a little peeky gander here. COST is starting to bump back up now. We're starting to see a little bit of action here out of COSTCO. Getting close back up to that $1,000 area again. We're sitting at $9.98 for COSTCO. $9.98 with only 30 minutes left to go before the earnings call actually starts. Thank you guys so much for joining me. I'm glad you guys are here, man. I'm having a good time today. I am. I was able to be in front of the computer today and take a few trades. We made a little bit of money. I only made about 1% of the account, but you know how it compounds, right? 1% a day, 1% a day. It's slow, it's boring, but you know what? We're making money, and we're doing it safe. We're doing it safe. You know, I'm done playing the garbage. I'm playing things safe, and if it's nothing. If it's a garbage stock, let's say if it's a small cap stock, I'm using such a minuscule amount that I can take and hold the trade. And if I forgot about the trade, went into a coma and woke up, and if the thing was at zero, I'm only going to lose a couple $100. That's how I'm playing these small cap stocks. The large cap stocks like Costco, like AVGO, like Tesla, like NVDA, like Meta, the stocks that we have been playing on the trend and base breakouts, we are using those 2x leverage and we're making money in those. Because you don't have to worry so much about these things gapping down overnight as long as there's no earnings taking place. This is why we don't play earnings, because it could gap one way or the other and never look back, right? But right now, as we're looking at this thing, Costco hit new all-time highs, came back, retested its breakout, and guess what? Held. This looks extremely bullish for Costco. I like Costco. I would like to be a part of Costco. I'd like to find something that moved a little faster. Dan Bob, is there any 2x leverage ETFs that have Costco in them? That's the question. If we could find a Costco 2x leverage, that would be something that I would be very interested in playing at this point in time. All right, 27 minutes, and I got me a Diet Mountain Dew. Delicious, but not nutritious. That's A-okay. I think I'm getting pizza tonight. Don't tell the kids, though. I'm feeling pizza, you know? But if I say pizza out loud, they're gonna be bugging me for it, and then I'll have to go get it. That sounds good, doesn't it? Speaking of pizza, I wonder if Costco sells pizza. I'm sure they do. Let's go right here. Let's go check out Costco. Costco.com. Costco wholesales. Oh, we can do shopping right now. We can do all of our shopping right now, guys. Easily. Let's search Costco. Let's see what kind of pizzas they have. Let's see here. Oh, look at that pizza. Oh my gosh. Would you guys please just look at this? That is what I'm talking about. This is what's going to make me hungry. Right here. You want a pizza maker? They have it at Costco. You want pizzas that look like that? Delicious. Delicious. You want it? You can have it. It's only $89.99. Bam. Bought it, eat it, stick it, see you later, bye. Costco looking like it's doing absolutely amazing here. I mean, if I bought the stock just sheerly on this pizza price, not pizza price, but this pizza, that is banging. That looks amazing. Is that like the Chicago deep dish type style? Is that what that is? I can't really tell. Is that what they consider Chicago deep dish? Or is this like a New York deep dish? Somebody's going to shoot me out there. Somebody's going to be so mad. Like, whoa, he called the New York deep dish. Like, what's wrong with this guy, huh? No, man, I don't know. But this is definitely Costco's deep dish. And it looks absolutely amazing. So, guys, we got 25 minutes until the Costco earnings call is coming out. They're gonna chat. They're gonna talk about everything Costco. If you're interested, if you're a nerd like that, hit that like and subscribe right now. We're just shopping for pizzas on Costco because I'm hungry, and this pizza looks absolutely amazing. You can buy a, it can already cook itself. So you buy the pizza, you buy the pizza maker. We set it right back here, right? And anytime we have earnings, we make a pizza. We have a pizza party. We're having a good time. Let's see what else they got. DiGiorno's, he says, Domino's. Okay, Domino's pan with garlic parm sauce with the steak and bacon cheddar blend. Oh man, now you're speaking to my heart there, Dan Bob. Look at that. Dan Bob knows exactly what he wants. Exactly what he wants. Looks like Domino's is featuring them. Papa John's. Looks like you can buy gift cards here. No. Look at this. They're considering this for pizza? Okay. Outdoor pizza maker. Pizza kit. This is specifically for pizza. I mean, I'm down. I get it. I get it. But I tell you, they had me sold right here. This is the sale right here. Absolutely scrumptious. I want to be a part of that. You know what I mean? Like, sign me up. Now, this says Gordito's Chicago frozen 10-inch deep dish stuffed pizza. So just for this pizza is $90. Is that worth it? Have you guys had a pizza like this from Costco? Let me know in the chat. I mean, is that worth $90 really? And then you still got to make it yourself. You're going to buy it frozen, right? You're still going to bring it home and make it yourself. You know? We're talking, and look at, I got little girl hands like that. Those are my hands pretty much. If you're, the pizza can't be that big is what I'm saying, guys. It can't be that big. All right? If you guys are here and you're looking for the sales, the EPS, anything, it's scrolling up at the top. We are here for Costco earnings, and the earnings call is starting in about 23 minutes. Thank you so much for being here. I appreciate you being here. And if you appreciate pizza, hit that like, hit that subscribe button, because I can't stop staring at this thing, man. I know I need to take it down, right? We're here for Costco's earnings, but man, this thing looks delicious. Oh, man. Yeah, I want that. I want that. I could care less about all this. I mean, they look good. Don't get me wrong, but that looks absolutely amazing. I feel like you could buy anything at Costco. You know, anything at Costco. It's like a Walmart on drugs. We won't say any specific explicit drugs, but you can imagine what I what I had. We got 22 minutes. 22 minutes, guys, so stick with me here. Yeah, not too much going on. I mean, it's a lot funner when we were looking at like Lululemon's stuff when we were going through Lululemon's website. You know, that's fun to look at. But when we're just kind of scrolling through Costco, I mean, we're not here shopping. We're not here shopping, guys. But I tell you what, if I could get that pizza, $80 pizza, $90 pizza, oh, maybe for my birthday. All right. Make sure you vote on the poll. If you're just swinging by, make sure you vote on the poll. I'm curious. I want to know what the consensus is. So far, 67% say yes. Yes, you do continue. Costco's amazing push to the north side. As the close was at 988, and now we're trading at 989. So we are within its area that it closed in, folks. So keep that in mind. When we look at Costco and we see where we're at right now, we are at break even. We have shown extreme volatility going as high as those new all-time highs, hitting $1,008.82, and then as low as $980.87. We're right now just playing around in the middle at $989.14, basically right where we closed at. So we're going to see very soon if Costco wants to continue to sustain this 10-day moving average, and if we're going to continue to trade sideways, or is Costco in for some trouble? Are we going to start rolling over here? That is the real question. And don't worry, guys, I have the Costco earnings. It's up. It's ready to go. I'm sitting here waiting. I'm going to end up getting the reminder and everything here. You guys don't have to worry one bit. The second they start playing, the second you will hear them. I actually just got a email from them right there. Let's see, part to start, blah, blah, blah. Okay, just make sure. And right here's the webcast link. There we go. All right, and make sure you guys are on the same webcast link. Just double check it here for you. Yes, there we go. And when those pop up, you guys will be able to hear everything through there with our amazing streaming service. Oh yeah. But it was nice to see a 5 minutes trend break strategy today. If you guys aren't aware, I do like to keep, I keep chart of all my trades and mark and make annotations and do all of that so that way we can study a little better together. And today we just had a 5 minute trend break strategy. I'm trying to get 100 trades on the trend break strategy. So not only do I know them better, but when I try to teach them, I have so many examples and I have so much expertise on this, there won't be anything lagging behind. I'll know exactly how to play it. The 5 minute trend break strategy has been making me money lately. You do have to be careful on those because you can see there when you're looking at the 5 minute trend break strategy on a smaller time frame, you see so much potential. You see so much potential in a stock, and then you start oversizing in some of these because a lot of them work. I mean, my success rate's almost like 75% on these 5 minute trend break strategies if I take out at all-time high or the high of the day, excuse me. The issue is you start to get a little too confident and cocky, and then you start trading a little too much, and that's where the discipline comes in for this 5 minute trend break strategy. So I like sticking with the longer term because you can make quite a bit of money. Sure, you can make quite a bit of money as you are playing those stocks, but the second you get undisciplined and you hold on to the stock a little too long, you're gonna give back a lot of those gains, and it can be very, very dangerous. But I do like playing the 5 minute trend break strategy. We have so many examples now that I can go over, that I can really hone in on this and really learn if I want to start sizing up in the 5 minute trend break strategy, but we'll see you soon. Right now, I'm just focused on the swing trading, none of this day trading crap right now. I tell you what, guys, I'm very excited. I'm very excited with the overall market, where the market is going, with Trump being in office now, with all the tariffs getting put on. It's going to shake things up, guys. It's going to shake things up, and I really think we're in for a golden age. I know you don't hear a lot of people out there on YouTube speaking so positive, but I always say here, it pays to be positive. One of the main things that I always like to bring up when I say it pays to be positive, it pays. Why do I say that? Because my main focus is this chart right here. Bull and bear market since 1946. The average bull market has lasted 5.6 years and has gained 192%. As where you can see the bear markets here last very, very short amount of time, and the amount that they lose is much smaller compared to even the smallest gain in 1967. So we got some more stuff. Oh, I'm sorry. Excuse me, guys. Almost got a little excited there. All I seen was this new all-time high pop up above my picture here. I was like, whoa, Costco is getting volatile again. But we have about 17 more minutes until those earnings call actually starts. So just take a look at my screen here. I actually got this from my financial advisor. That's why I really like it. And I always say, guys, it pays to be positive, because if you stay positive, right, and you expect the overall market to continue higher, this is why I'm always so positive, because it does pay to be positive. Of course, we can always look at things. We could say, well, the market's going to fail because of this or because of that or these reasons or that. It's easy to be negative. It's always easy to want to sell. What's the hard part is actually holding on for the bigger expected move. And that's my story with Costco, because I identified a huge trending breakout on Costco years and years and years ago. And I never actually took this trade because simply I didn't believe in the long term. I didn't believe in this continuing to manifest into something greater and bigger. I was on a shorter time frame. So it's nice to see these longer term investings work out. It's nice to see everything heading to the north side. If you'd like to, oh, Dan Bob, goodness, Dan Bob. I won't read that out loud, but thank you so much, Dan Bob. I do appreciate you. I appreciate you bringing that up. But yeah, absolutely. When are you adding a 5-minute strat video? That's a great question, Dan Bob. I want to get 100 tested trades for the 5-minute trend break. Because if we look at this 5-minute trend break strategy and we scroll down, you'll see, I have plenty of examples. Beautiful example, beautiful. These are just such good examples. I even have examples of them actually being failing. I even have an example of me shorting into a fail. So I expected it to fail. It fails, and then I end up taking the trade and making a ton of money. MRM, this is a fail. I actually took this fail. 5-minute trend break strategy. You can see the new higher lows, new lower highs. And then as it fails, I actually take it short. We made a very handsome amount of money in a short amount of time. You can see AMD, look at this absolute beautiful push up higher. That's why I like taking it at the all-time highs, because it ended up failing later in the day. SMX, I mean, I'm telling you guys, I have a ton of these, but I want to get 100 of them, 100. And I have about 25 examples. So when it comes to the 5-minute trend break strategy and actual video for it, I would say maybe next year, honestly. End of next year, right? End of next year. It takes time to do these. I want to make sure if I'm putting out, it's tested, it's back tested, and that you guys know 100% that what you're watching has been back tested completely. COSTCO now trading at $9.92. Absolutely beautiful. Alex B, if you look at my screen right here, we got about 14 minutes. 14 minutes at 5 p.m. is when the COSTCO is going to have their earnings call, and I have the countdown right here for you, brother. So I hope you are here for it. We are ready. We are all signed up for you. They've already sent my email to confirm. And guys, I've taken care of all the hard work for you. So hit that like and subscribe for me. We really appreciate you. Guys, we are up to 1,000, I think 330 subscribers now. Absolutely killing it. You guys remember when we hit 1,000? It doesn't even feel like that long ago. You know, we hit 1,000 subscribers. We had a party, we had fun, we celebrated, and then we got right back to work. And here we are doing COSTCO earnings. So if you guys like earnings, if you like the volatility, if you like what we are doing here for you, absolutely free, hit that like and subscribe just like Alex did. We appreciate you joining us. Yeah, baby. So COSTCO now trading at $9.92, and I need to take a little sip because things are about to get volatile as the earnings call in about 13 more minutes here. We're going to hear a lot of questions about COSTCO, the wholesale giant. There's a lot of investors, a lot of institutional ownership out there in COSTCO right now that have a lot of questions. And that is one thing that we can look up. I want to show you guys how I look up the institutional ownership. There's a lot of ways to do it. One of the easiest ways is just to go to Yahoo. If you go to Yahoo Finance, so we'll just go to Yahoo. We go to Yahoo Finance here. If we go to Yahoo Finance, we can just type in COSTCO, C-O-S-T, and then you'll find a little area right in the corner, and I'll do this on my side so you guys don't have to stare at the screen. COSTCO trading at $9.92 right now, and right now we're just looking up the institutional ownership so I can show you guys. Thank you for the subscription. I noticed we just got another one. I appreciate you for that. Thank you, thank you, thank you. But we are having the earnings call. The earnings call is in about 12 minutes. Right now I'm just looking up their stats on their overall holders here. Just because I want to show you guys how we look up institutional ownership. So if you look at my screen here, I don't want to bore you guys, but it's important to know who's holding the stocks that you are holding. You want to make sure that you're riding on the shoulders of those giants. So if you're in COSTCO, you want to be sure that other people are holding COSTCO that have way more money than you do. So right now we look it up and you can see here, Vanguard holds 41.75 million shares of COSTCO. BlackRock's holding 33.56 million shares. You can see here Morgan Stanley, FMR, Bank of America. So yes, it does have institutional ownership buying COSTCO up as of September 30th, 2024. Okay, that was the last time that it has been updated. The breakdown, all insiders is 0.19%, held by institutions, 71%, the float held by institutions, 71%, and the number of institutionals holding it is 4,351. So it is very clear, it is very obvious that COSTCO has institutional major holders holding this stock. It's very clear. And you can do this with any stock, guys. You don't have to do this with COSTCO. I think a lot of people already knew COSTCO has a lot of the major holders in there. But if you want to do it with some other swing trading strategy, the best place to go to YouTube, go to Yahoo Finance, type in that ticker, click on holders, and then you're going to find what you need to find. So right here, we just typed in COST, and then I scrolled down and I went to holders here. Actually, I'll have to bring this up right here. It's right here on the left side. You click holders, and then bada bing, bada boom. You'll be making money real soon, guys. We have about 10 more minutes until the earnings call actually starts. Thank you for joining us. I appreciate you guys being here. Let's see what happens when you lose the hat. You get a sub. Yeah, Dan, Bob, whatever, dude. If I don't have a hat on, you'll complain about the hair. If I have a hat on, you'll complain about the hat. Either way, thank you guys for hitting that subscribe button. I need more hats. I need to take more hats off. If that's what works, if that's what gets you guys to subscribe, me taking a hat off, I'll put it on and take it off every 5 minutes. We have 10 minutes now, guys, until the earnings call. We have it up. We have it ready. We have it willing. We're going to see if it happens real soon. I know we are expected COSTCO to continue higher, especially we have 25 votes. If you haven't voted already, go ahead and do that. Will COSTCO, C-O-S-T, ticker C-O-S-T, continue its amazing push even higher? 68% of you said yes, 4% said no, and 20% said sideways action is to come. I do think I could see COSTCO trading sideways for a little while, creating another base like it has multiple other times, but we'll see very soon. I know 8% of you say you're just here for the show, Dave, and I appreciate you being here. It is your function as a bot. Dan Bop Dan. I'm happy to have you in here, Dan Bop. Thanks, brother. Make sure you guys hit that like, hit that subscribe button for me. We are doing it, and we are doing it big. We have the chat is up. If you guys got something that you want to watch aside from COSTCO, let me know. We have about 9 more minutes until COSTCO has those earnings calls. We are all signed up, ready to rock, so you came to the right place. Thank you so much for joining me. My name is David Worrell. We have an amazing community. We meet up here at least once a week to do these earnings calls. So if you can get behind that, hit that like and subscribe. There's only a few trades that I'm holding right now. I'm still short Lululemon from our last earnings call that we had. I'm long SQ, waiting to see if this is the start of a new stage 2 uptrend. And of course, I'm still long Tesla, all the way back down here from its base breakout of 320, I believe it was on Tesla, but on TSLA 2313, still holding this absolute mega trade. But all eyes are on COSTCO today, as it is trading at 991.71, and we have earnings coming out. I'm sorry, the earnings call coming out in about 8 minutes. If you guys like it, at the top we have the little side scroller thing. I don't know, what do we call that? I keep calling it the side scroller thing. I'm sure that there's a more professional name to use rather than the side scroller thing. But that thing at the very top there, we keep it updated for you guys. We make sure that you guys are up to date. You guys understand what's going on. They actually had a change, which was still a double beat, but as it switched, we were somewhere in the middle around the 1000s, and then it took a absolute enormous hit and pulled all the way back down below its closing price of 988.69. So we have about 7 more minutes left. Yes, we're up. Yes, we're ready to rock, baby. I hope you guys are too. Let's hear what kind of music they got for us. Oh, that's different. All right, let me get this set up, because this should be through my headset. Can you guys hear that? Let me know if you can hear that, actually, because this would work out better, actually. If you guys can you hear that music in the background, Dan Bob? Let me know. Because then I wouldn't even have to wear this headset. I'll turn off the lo-fi music. Can you guys hear that? And I could probably turn it up over here. All right, bear with me, guys. We're just getting everything set up. There we go. Okay, so it sounds okay to you? Because if that works out, I don't even have to wear a headset then. It works better for me. Perfect. Good. Well, things are running nice and smooth on my end, which is crazy, guys. It's crazy for things to run smooth on my end. Why? Because usually every stream we have one mess up, one hiccup, one thing that makes me prove that I can adapt and overcome. So we haven't had it yet. All the screens are working. Everything's working great. The sound quality's good. Everybody's happy. Dan Bob's happy, right? What more could happen? What more could happen? We're doing good. I'm not going to jinx it. We're going to take a little sip. We're waiting for it now, baby. It'll happen anytime, very, very soon. This is my jam right here. I'm going to start freestyling to it. You guys won't know what to do. Right now, COSTCO trading at 991.71, still trading roughly where it closed today. So we're going to see if it wants to continue to head higher after it broke new all-time highs. Guys, new all-time highs, $1,008.82. New all-time highs broke for COSTCO. You heard it here first. Absolutely beautiful. Now pulling back to its breakout, I'm sorry, I should say breakout area, but it is the breakout area, but it's closing area. Right now trading at 993. We're waiting for COSTCO wholesales to come out. We're waiting for the questions, the real questions to be asked, the real numbers to be set, and I hope everybody's ready. This was absolutely beautiful to see this new all-time high get hit right here while we're on stream. We can see we are clearly holding a beautiful uptrend. It's definitely what you want to see if you are a long-term investor in COSTCO, or if you are, I believe a lot of this is in your long-term investing accounts. I believe COSTCO is a part of the S&P 500. Actually, that's a good question. That's a good question, actually. Is COSTCO a part of the S&P 500? Let's see here. Yes. Okay, it is. It's a component of the S&P 500, an index. Yeah, okay. I thought it was. I just want to make sure. But you never know. You never know. Is Tesla still in there? I'm curious if Tesla's still in there or not. All right, just a few more minutes, guys. COSTCO will be coming out with their live earnings call. Hope you guys are ready. I know I am. I'm getting a little hungry. I might have to go grab a bite to eat right before they start. Especially after watching that pizza, that COSTCO pizza we just looked up. Oh my gosh. I'm curious if it's deep dish though. Like, do they consider that deep dish, or is that like a specific area's deep dish pizza that they had on that website? You know? I don't know. I gotta know. We're going to Chicago here. Skeep, skeep, skeep. We need some pizza. We need some pizza, huh? All right, here we go. COSTCO will be starting in about 2 minutes, guys. 2 minutes. Let's take a look at the S&P 500 just before it starts. I want to see where we sit. It looks like we got a small pullback and a pop-up. We're trading at 604.32, so the market's still over that $600 area. Still above a 10-day moving average and clearly above my risk off of 21-day moving average. So the S&P 500 holding up very well. Didn't do too much, obviously, because COSTCO is just basically break even. It did move. It definitely did move. Let's take a look at AVGO just as before we get ready to start. AVGO, look at this, squatting down, right down on top of its breakout area. This is absolutely beautiful. I'm going to put this on my watch list for first thing in the morning tomorrow. I really, really would like to see AVGO bounce off this area if it shows proper dynamics here, proper risk reward, and proper price action. That's a lot of propers. But if we can get it all together and it all comes to one, AVGO might do us a very, very good favor tomorrow and have that continuation higher. Will COSTCO continue its amazing push higher? That's the question on the chat right there. So the poll, 70% say yes, 4% say no, 19% sideways action, and 7% say they're just here for the show. Thank you guys so much for joining me. Absolutely love doing this. We're going to end the earnings call right now, or the alarm, actually, I should say. We're going to end the alarm. It's getting ready to start here in seconds, guys, seconds. And then I will let them talk. I will stop jibber-jabbering. And yeah, we'll have ourselves a nice little earnings call to watch, baby. we're gonna bring this up, we'll make this our full screen. There we go. All right. Thank you guys for making it this far. This is the earnings call. It's getting ready to start here. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for helping me do what I absolutely love to do. My goal is to have a sustainable live show each and every day where I can bring you news, market data, and of course, live earnings just like this. If this is something you can get behind, if this is something that you love to do as well, if you're a nerd just like me in our community, hit that like, hit that subscribe button. Daniel Perez, what's going on? Can we tank, please? You know, it was pretty crazy after we hit that new all-time high, how fast it tanked.
Good afternoon, and thank you for standing by. My name is Abby, and I will be your conference operator today. At this time, I would like to welcome everyone to the COSTCO Wholesale Corporation First Quarter Fiscal 2025 conference call. All lines have been placed on mute to prevent any background noise. After the speaker's remarks, there will be a question and answer session. If you would like to ask a question during that time, simply press the star key followed by the number 1 on your telephone keypad. If you would like to withdraw your question, press star 1 a second time. Thank you, and I would now like to turn the conference over to Gary Millerchip, Chief Financial Officer. You may begin.
Good afternoon, everyone, and thank you for joining COSTCO's first quarter 2025 earnings call. I'd like to start by reminding you that these discussions will include forward-looking statements within the meaning of the Private Securities Litigation Reform Act of 1995. These statements involve risks and uncertainties that may cause actual events, results, and/or performance to differ materially from those indicated by such statements. The risks and uncertainties include, but are not limited to, those outlined in today's call, as well as other risks identified from time to time in the company's public statements and reports filed with the SEC. Forward-looking statements speak only as of the date they are made, and the company does not undertake to update these statements except as required by law. Comparable sales and comparable sales excluding impacts from changes in gasoline prices and foreign exchange are intended as supplemental information and are not a substitute for net sales presented in accordance with GAAP. Before we dive into our financial results for the quarter, I'm delighted to say that Ron Vakris is joining us for today's call. I'll now hand over to Ron for some opening comments.
Thank you, Gary, and good afternoon, everyone, and thank you for joining us today. As we wrap up the first quarter of fiscal 2025, let me make a few brief comments on some of the highlights since we last spoke in September. In the first quarter of fiscal 25, we opened 7 new warehouses. This included 1 relocation and resulted in 6 net new buildings, of which 4 were outside of the U.S. Additionally, after the end of the quarter, on the day before Thanksgiving, we opened our 897th warehouse in Pleasanton, California. That opening had the highest ever opening day sales for a U.S. warehouse at $2.9 million that day. We continue to project 29 openings during fiscal year 25, of which 3 will be relocations, and so 26 net new buildings. 10 of those warehouses will be outside of the U.S. Gary will speak to a more detailed review of our results in a few moments, but I wanted to share some fun facts regarding our growth across the business. Our U.S. bakery division has reached new records of 4.2 million pies being sold the 3 days prior to Thanksgiving. In our U.S. food courts, on Halloween Day, we set a new record of 274,000 whole pizzas being sold. That was an increase of 21%. Our U.S. pharmacy business has prescription growth exceeding 19% for the first quarter, setting new volume records for that business. And lastly, we continue to gain market share with our e-commerce big and bulky fulfilled by COSTCO Logistics. COSTCO Logistics completed nearly 1 million deliveries in Q1 and over 196,000 deliveries last week alone. That was a new record as well. The majority of these deliveries were completed in 4 days from the members ordering their merchandise online. All of these milestones reflect the continued strength of our business across the membership offering. These great results are a reflection of the outstanding work done by our over 330,000 employees around the world. Their commitment to our company and the COSTCO experience for our members is truly inspiring. I'd like to thank all of our people for their outstanding work this year, and especially during our busiest time of the year. As we approach our annual shareholders meeting in January, I also wanted to mention that our annual update to the COSTCO sustainability commitments was just made available online today. This report provides a comprehensive review of the progress we're making towards our sustainability objectives, and I would encourage all of you to take a look. With that, I'll turn it back over to Gary to discuss the results of the quarter, and I'll jump back on during Q&A to field some questions. Thank you.
Thanks, Ron. In today's press release, we reported operating results for the first quarter of fiscal 2025, the 12 weeks ended November 24. We have once again published a slide deck on our investor site under Events and Presentations with supplemental information to support today's press release. You might find it helpful to have this presentation in front of you as I walk through our results. Net income for the first quarter came in at $1.798 billion, or $4.04 per diluted share, up from $1.589 billion, or $3.58 per diluted share in the first quarter last year. This year's results included a tax benefit of $100 million, or 22 cents per diluted share, related to stock-based compensation. And last year's results included a tax benefit of $44 million, or 10 cents per diluted share, also related to stock-based compensation. Excluding these discrete tax items, net income and earnings per diluted share grew 9.9% and 9.8% respectively. Net sales for the first quarter was $60.99 billion, an increase of 7.5% from $56.72 billion in the first quarter last year. U.S. comparable sales were up 5.2%, or 7.2% excluding gas deflation. Canada comp sales were up 5.8%, or 6.7% adjusted for gas deflation and FX. And other international comp sales were up 4.7%, or 7.1% adjusted. This all led to total company comp sales of 5.2%, or 7.1% adjusted for gas deflation and FX. Finally, e-commerce comp sales were up 13%, or 13.2% adjusted for FX. In terms of Q1 comp sales metrics, foreign currencies relative to the US dollar negatively impacted sales by approximately 0.3%, while gas price deflation negatively impacted sales by approximately 1.6%. Traffic or shopping frequency increased 5.1% worldwide and 4.9% in the US. Our average transaction or ticket was up 0.1% worldwide and 0.3% in the US. This includes the headwinds from gas deflation and FX. Adjusted for those items, ticket would have been up 2% worldwide and up 2.3% in the US. Moving down the income statement to membership fee income. We reported membership fee income of $1.166 billion, an increase of $84 million or 7.8% year over year. Membership fee income growth was also 7.8% excluding FX. Remember that the recent membership fee increase doesn't have much impact yet due to the effects of deferred accounting and represented less than 1% of the fee growth in the quarter. In terms of renewal rates, at Q1 end, our US and Canada renewal rate was 92.8%, down 0.1% from Q4 end. The worldwide rate came in at 90.4%, also down 0.1%, primarily due to the US and Canada. As we mentioned on the last quarterly earnings call, our renewal rates are seeing some impact from higher growth in digital signups, which renew at a slightly lower rate than our base as a whole. Underlying renewal rates and membership growth remain strong, but this mix shift is likely to have a continued effect on our published renewal rate for the remainder of 2025. We ended Q1 with 77.4 million paid household members, up 7.6% versus last year, and 138.8 million cardholders, up 7.2% year over year. At Q1 end, we had 36.4 million paid executive memberships, up 9.2% versus last year. And executive members now represent 46.8% of paid members and 73.1% of worldwide sales. Turning to gross margin, our reported rate in the first quarter was higher year over year by 24 basis points, coming in at 11.28% compared to 11.04% last year, and up 7 basis points excluding gas deflation. Core margin was higher by 31 basis points and higher by 17 basis points without gas deflation. This was driven by mix and our credit card co-brand program. In terms of core margins on their own sales, our core-on-core margins were higher by 3 basis points. Ancillary and other businesses' gross margin was lower by 12 basis points and lower by 16 basis points ex-gas deflation. This decrease year over year was largely due to gas, partially offset by e-commerce. 2% reward was lower or better by 5 basis points or 6 basis points without gas deflation. And LIFO was flat for the quarter. We had a $19 million LIFO credit in Q1 this year compared to a $15 million credit in Q1 last year. Moving on to SG&A, our reported SG&A rate in the first quarter was higher year over year by 14 basis points, coming in at 9.59% compared to last year's 9.45%. SG&A was flat adjusted for gas deflation. The operations component of SG&A was higher or worse by 15 basis points and higher 4 basis points excluding gas deflation. Higher employee wages that went into effect in July drove the headwind for the quarter, partially offset by sales leverage and productivity gains. As always, investing in our employees remains a key part of our strategy, and we will continue to focus on driving top-line sales and improving productivity to mitigate the incremental costs. Central was higher or worse by 5 basis points and 3 basis points without gas deflation. Stock compensation was lower or better by 2 basis points and 3 basis points without gas deflation. And pre-opening costs were lower or better by 4 basis points, both with and without gas deflation. Below the operating income line, interest expense was $37 million versus $38 million last year, and interest income was $96 million versus $154 million last year. As mentioned in our Q4 earnings, interest income faced headwinds in the quarter due to lower cash balances subsequent to our special dividend in January 2024 and lower interest rates. This will continue to negatively impact year-over-year compare in Q2. FX and other was a $51 million gain in Q1 this year versus a $6 million gain last year. This gain offset much of the headwind we saw in interest income in the quarter and was primarily due to FX. In terms of income taxes, our tax rate in Q1 was 22% compared to 24.5% in Q1 last year. As mentioned earlier, this year's rate benefited from a $100 million discrete item related to our annual RSU vesting. Adjusted for this benefit, the tax rate for the quarter would have been 26.5%. Turning now to some key items of note for the quarter. Ron talked earlier about our continued momentum with new warehouse openings, and capital expenditure in Q1 was approximately $1.26 billion. We estimate CapEx for the full year will be approximately $5 billion. Taking a deeper look into core merchandising sales, Fresh led the way in Q1 with comparable sales up high single digits. Meat was up double digits and demonstrated strength across the department. We have members who are continuing to purchase high-ticket.
Yeah, thanks, B. Stewie. B. Stewie says, smash that like button. I appreciate that. Hit that like, hit that subscribe button, guys. Currently, Costco trading at $9.85. $9.85 currently.
We sell in Fresh. Our non-foods category was also up high single digits, despite some impact from the calendar shift, as our buyers continue to bring in new and exciting items at great values. Gold and jewelry, gift cards, home furnishings, sporting goods, health and beauty aids, luggage, kiosk, and hardware were all up double digits. This quarter, we were able to add several new high-quality brands across a broad range of categories, including Peloton, Wrangler, Spring-Free trampolines, and Ruggable. Food and sundries had mid-single-digit comps, with our cooler and frozen food departments leading the way. We continue to see strong momentum with new and exciting international food items, such as Sania pork soup dumplings, Sona Missouri rice, and hot pot beef sliced chuck rolls. Kirkland Signature continues to grow at a faster pace than our business as a whole. Our goal is always to be the first to lower prices where we see the opportunities to do so. And just a few examples this quarter include Kirkland Signature organic peanut butter reduced from $11.49 to $9.99, Kirkland Signature chicken stock from $9.99 to $8.99, and Kirkland Signature Sauvignon Blanc from $7.49 to $6.99. Our merchants are also driving innovation with Kirkland Signature. Most notably this quarter, we introduced new Kirkland Signature Oxy Powder, and Kirkland Signature food storage bags, both offering significant value to the national brand alternatives. Within ancillary businesses, pharmacy had the strongest sales growth. Our focus continues to be on keeping prescription and OTC prices low, while also leveraging technology to make it easier for our members to use our pharmacy. Recent examples include the introduction of new prescription inventory management software to better stay in stock and enabling delivery of prescriptions via Instacart. Our food court and optical departments also performed well in the quarter. Gas sales were negative low double digits due to the average price per gallon being down low double digits. Costco Travel is another way we deliver unique membership value, and these services continue to resonate well with our members. We offer a wide range of vacation packages, car rentals, cruises, hotels, flights, and other travel-related services. And in addition to highly attractive rates, many of our offerings include a Costco shop card as extra value for booking with Costco. A couple of fun facts about our travel business. Last year, we sold enough rental cars to fill every U.S. Costco parking spot 8.5 times. We also offer great value to members on cruises, and our largest cruise booking last year was a 150-day around-the-world cruise, starting from Fort Lauderdale and making stops in places like the Galapagos and Easter Islands. The total price was $293,000 for two in the owner's suite cabin, and added values on the booking included a shipboard credit of $13,000 and a Costco shop card worth $25,000. Members who use Costco Travel spend approximately twice as much as members that do not use these services. Inflation was once again essentially flat in the quarter across all core merchandise. Food and sundries and fresh foods were slightly inflationary, and this was offset by deflation in non-foods. In the supply chain, while egg supplies have been negatively impacted by avian influenza and the recent East Coast port strikes led to a spike in paper and water product demand, overall product supply has generally been good. The predictability of on-time shipping delivery remains below pre-COVID levels, and items are generally spending more time on the water. Our merchants have adapted well to this change, and we are in a great position with inventory for the holidays. As we head into Q2, we continue to monitor for potential port strikes in India, the East Coast, and Canada, and our merchants are adapting plans as necessary to ensure we remain in stock for our members. Turning to digital and e-commerce, we continue to make progress with our technology roadmap, and enhancements made to the member experience, like the ability to check warehouse inventory via the Costco app, are resonating well. Our US app was downloaded 2.9 million times in the quarter, bringing total downloads to approximately 42 million. E-commerce traffic, conversion rate, and average order value were all up year over year, helping to drive another strong quarter of comparable sales growth. While strength in bullion was a meaningful tailwind to e-commerce sales, hardware, sporting goods, gift cards, and home furnishings all grew double digits year over year. As Ron mentioned earlier, Costco Logistics also had another great quarter, driving growth in big and bulky items. And Costco Next, our curated marketplace, achieved record sales over the Thanksgiving, Black Friday, and Cyber Monday sales period. In closing, let me provide a brief update on retail media. To use a baseball analogy, we are very much in the early innings with retail media, but we continue to believe this represents a significant growth opportunity in the future. This quarter, we completed our first targeted media campaign through third-party media channels with one of our largest CPG partners. The campaign achieved 2 to 3 times the return on ad spend typically expected, highlighting the value we can create for our members and suppliers. Our retail media team is now working with over 25 suppliers who are eager to participate in our next wave of off-site campaigns. And finally, in terms of upcoming releases, we will announce our December sales results for the 5 weeks ending Sunday, January the 5th, on Wednesday, January the 8th, after market close. That concludes our prepared remarks, and we'll now open the line up for questions.
Thank you. And we'll now begin the question and answer session. If you have dialed in and would like to ask a question, please press star 1 on your telephone keypad to raise your hand and join the queue. If you would like to withdraw your question, simply press star 1 a second time. If you are called upon to ask your question and are listening via speakerphone on your device, please pick up your handset and ensure that your phone is not on mute when asking your question. To be able to take as many of your questions as possible, we ask that you please limit yourself to one question. Again, it is *1 if you would like to join the queue. And your first question comes from the line of Simeon Gutman with Morgan Stanley. Your line is open.
Hi, everyone. I hope you can hear me. My one question with a couple parts. Actually diagnosing the health of the consumer. Can you give us some sense of how you're clearing some of the seasonal inventory, maybe apparel, bigger ticket? And then once in a while, we talk about market share in some discretionary categories. Can you share your perspective on that? Thank you.
Sure. Thanks, Simon. Yeah, we can hear you well, and thanks for the question. So maybe taking that question in a few parts. As we look at the consumer, I think we're seeing a lot of similar trends that we've talked about on the last few quarters. What we're seeing with our members is that now, probably more than any time in recent history, that combination of newness of items, quality and value are really important to the member. And, we're seeing the member being very choiceful about how they're spending the dollars. All that being said, I think we're finding that as our merchants are doing a great job of finding that newness and quality at great value, we've seen some great strength in our non-food categories. And certainly, as you heard me say on the prepared comments, we're seeing really strong performance across many of the categories around things like gold and jewelry, gift cards, home furnishings, sporting goods, health and beauty, hardware, all up double digits during the quarter. So we're pleased with the momentum that we're seeing there, and I think it reflects the fact that our members are willing to spend as inflation comes down, as long as those sort of three key ingredients that I mentioned are there for the member as well. I think in terms of overall what we're seeing with the member on food and grocery, I would say that we are seeing what we think is a little bit of a shift from food away from home to food at home, and that's certainly reflected in strong meat and produce sales that we've seen in our own business. And we are seeing, I think, a little bit even more of a trend that we've talked about in prior quarters of bifurcation with the member, where we have high quality premium cuts, they're selling well, but we're also seeing a gravitation towards those lower price per pound items across categories like poultry, cuts of beef and pork as well. So, Ron, anything you'd like to add?
Yeah, I guess, Simeon, the other part of your question, seasonal sell-through appears to be very strong. It's a unique retail calendar with a shorter period of time after Thanksgiving, but our buyers have been through this before and they've responded properly with that as well. So that feels good. Seems to be a very foundational Christmas, though, as you see furniture driving a lot of our e-commerce sales, appliances, sporting goods, hardware. And so just people are very, very basic buying this year, but good trends.
And I think, Simeon, I guess I didn't mention specifically, we tend to focus on our member and how can we deliver that great value. The data that we do see would tend to suggest that we're growing our share across most of the categories that I mentioned.
And your next question comes from the line of Oliver Chen with TD Cowen. Your line is open.
Hi, Ron and Gary. Happy holidays. Your traffic continues to impress a lot. As we look forward, what are your thoughts and key drivers and mix opportunities as you think about ticket and UPT? Also, you highlighted retail media, which is a huge, great opportunity. How does that intersect with your important multi-vendor mailer? And also, as you think about incrementality of that opportunity, that would be great to hear. Thank you very much.
COSTCO currently trading at $9.86. Please hit that like and subscribe for more.
That we have been pleased with the traffic that we've seen and the continued frequency of shop from our members. What was nice to see at the end of last quarter, we did see when you adjust for foreign exchange and gasoline that we started to turn positive on the items per basket. And then this quarter, when you adjust for those items, we were up about 2% on slightly over 2%, I think, on the US and 2% worldwide. So we have seen some improved momentum on the items per basket. And I think that's a lot of great work being done by, again, our merchants, making sure that we've got great product offerings in the warehouse, and then our operators really executing those campaigns exceptionally well when the members are in the warehouse as well. From a media perspective, I think we look at it very much as an incremental opportunity. Our goal is to continue to maximize the value we can put into everyday product quality and pricing. And where we're seeing a lot of the interest in retail media is really coming from the marketing agencies, which gives us a lot of confidence that this is an opportunity for us to tap into new marketing dollars where a lot of our national brand suppliers are going to those media agencies to invest those marketing dollars to really make sure they're getting a good return on that ad spend. And so where we're seeing a lot of the traction, and again, I would emphasize it's very early days with retail media for us, is something that we're just really embarking on that offsite journey, but really where most of the interest is coming from is from retail media agencies, which we believe is the way for us to make sure that we're driving incrementality and growth in the model.
Thank you very much. Very helpful.
And your next question comes from the line of Christopher Horvers with JP Morgan. Your line is open.
Thanks. Good evening, guys. So can you talk about what drove the core-on-core margin performance this quarter? You have the MFI now rolling through. How do you think about, reinvestment of price, either, in terms of expected price reductions that you see coming down the supply chain, or maybe even going above and beyond that? And just as a side question, can you define what's in the hardware category? Is that consumer electronics? Thank you.
Sure. Thank you for the question. Yeah, in terms of the core-on-core margin, first of all, which I think was the first part of your question, if you break it down between the sort of three main categories that we see within the business, that's foods, fresh, and non-foods. Foods would have been essentially flat. Non-foods would have been down slightly, and fresh would have been up slightly. So those three kind of, obviously overall we were just up 3 basis points. So there really wasn't a tremendous amount of change overall, but they would have been the sort of key puts and takes in the overall number.
And then the description of the hardware category really is just that. It's storage, plumbing, lighting, power tools, batteries, those type of the household goods that you would find at a typical hardware store.
And then on the price investment side, your thought process there?
That's something that we've done for the history of the company. We're going to continue to invest in price, and some of it may come in holding certain prices as some commodities are starting to increase. But investing in items like Gary described, leading with Kirkland Signature. I mean, we feel that if we're going to be asking our members and our vendors to contribute with lower prices, we've got to set that example and start with Kirkland. So we're going to continue to look at those opportunities and invest where we can and keep driving sales.
Thank you. Have a great holiday season.
Thank you. You as well.
And your next question comes from the line of Jian Ma with Bernstein. Your line is open.
Thank you for taking my question. I have a two-part question. One, I think, Gary, you mentioned the difference in renewal rates from online signups and then offline signups. Can you help us break it out and understand the difference in online behaviors? And second part, on the retail media side, how do you expect Costco Connect, the third-party marketplace, to contribute to the growth of retail media going forward? And will that impact the membership loyalty in any way or regard? Thank you.
Yeah, sure. Thanks for the question. So first of all, on the membership rate, I'd maybe take a step back and just say overall, we're feeling very good about the underlying membership metrics that we're seeing. So renewal rates in general, sign-up activity, and then the membership growth remains very strong. As I mentioned in the prepared remarks, really what we're seeing is that over the last few years, we've seen some shift in more of the members that we're acquiring coming through digital channels. And that's helping with the comment that we made last quarter, where we're also seeing a reduction in the average age of members because of that change in shift as well. But what it does mean is that often when we have new members being recruited through that digital channel, they're renewing at a slightly lower rate than the historical base that we have. And you may recall that when we talk about membership renewal rates, it's effectively an 18-month lag that we see, that we report out on that renewal rate. And so as we look forward and see that trend continuing as we build more of that new digital member into the base and it slightly affects the mix, we expect it will have a slight impact on that overall membership renewal rate that we report. So we wanted to make sure we gave you visibility into that. When we look at individual sort of cohorts of members, we feel good about the ability for us to be able to continue to drive improvement in renewal rate, but we are going to see that impact through as it becomes a flow through from the continued growth in digital members.
And then this is Ron. The question on Costco Next. Costco Next is our marketplace. This is an exclusive Costco member-only marketplace. It's fully curated by our buyers, so everything that's on that site has been reviewed by our buyers, but is exclusive to Costco members. So we think it's just going to enhance the relationship we have our members and give more options for their shopping needs.
Got it. Just to clarify, I was wondering if you were going to have more 3P marketplace vendors.
We just ended the Will the Costco continue its amazing push even higher poll. 64% said yes, and 15% said no. Currently, we're below the closing trading price. We have a new question on the poll, so take a look at the front. New question on the poll as we continue to listen to the Costco earnings.
Question comes from the line of Karen Short with Melius Research. Your line is open.
Be sure to hit that like and subscribe button, guys. We're going to be doing a lot more of these.
A little out of left field, but just curious, there's kind of been a trend in retail for stock splits generally, and I'm wondering what your philosophy is on that, because I know you want your employees to have an opportunity to buy stock, below the store manager level. And the second question that's kind of unrelated is just tariffs. Any thoughts on that and thoughts on what that could do to inflation?
Thanks, Karen. Yeah, on the stock split, you're probably aware that Costco has done stock splits in the past, and it's something that we'll continue to evaluate and discuss with our board, but there isn't a plan at this time for a stock split. I think for us, the way we think about it is the economic arguments that were true in the past are a little bit less clear because retail investors and employees both have the ability now to buy fractional shares. But we do also recognize that there's a benefit of the stock feeling more affordable for our retail investors and employees, who are very important constituents for us. So we'll continue to evaluate over time. And then I think the second part of the question was on tariffs.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think from a tariff point of view, what I would say is that, first of all, there's a lot of uncertainty around the timing and scope of changes. So it makes it difficult for anyone to predict what the impact will be with confidence. And in general, of course, tariffs raise costs. That's not something that we see as a positive in general. With that being said, I'll quote my predecessor, Richard, who'd say, when it rains on everybody. And I think for us, we've faced tariffs in the past, and we believe that our merchants and buyers are equipped, as anybody is, to sort of work through and navigate and manage that situation. We have a plan over time where we have done this in the past, and typically we'll look where we can to pull forward inventory buying, which actually we've done already because of some of the less predictability around shipping and how much time product spends on the water, and also because of the risk of strikes that we've seen in the past as well. We'll, of course, try and work with our vendors to make sure we're looking for ways where we can to mitigate the cost. And we also consider alternative sourcing locations where that's practical as well. I guess the final sort of string in our bow would be is if we didn't see the value in an individual SKU, then we could always pivot to a different SKU item for the member if we felt the value just wasn't there and it was more effective for us to move to a different item in the warehouse. I guess in context for us, the amount of business that's affected, we're about a quarter of our business is non-foods, and then a subset of that is imported. So remember, it's a minority of our overall business, and then it's a smaller part of that as well we actually import, just for context.
Great. Thank you very much. Have a great holiday.
You too. Thanks.
And your next question comes from the line of Edward Kelly with Wells Fargo. Your line is open.
Current trade price is $983.26. Hit that like and subscribe for me, guys. Everything's free here, baby.
Years, but taking a step back and thinking about the evolution of your business, your goals, growing the moat, how are you thinking about, the outlook for CapEx? Any meaningful changes ahead? And as part of this, anything different sort of in the pipeline from a project or priority standpoint?
Yeah, thanks, Ed. I wouldn't say there's really any major change. As you mentioned, we have been gradually increasing capital expenditure, more reflection of the continued growth of the business as we've opened new warehouses, seen some inflation in those costs over the last few years. And we have, of course, been investing a little bit more in technology as well as we sort of modernize the platforms there and look to build the right capabilities to support growth in the future. But I think philosophically, we focus on, job number one, of course, is to focus on the warehouses and invest in continuing to maintain the quality of our fleet and invest in new growth warehouses in that 25 to 30 range updating our supply chain and depots to support the capabilities there and both digitally. And then also, as I mentioned, sort of technology investments. But I wouldn't indicate at this point that there's any major change in trajectory. It's more just continuation of the growth strategies that we've had and executing on that strategy.
Thank you.
And your next question comes from the line of John Heinbockel with Guggenheim. Your line is open.
Hey guys, two quick things. Philosophically, price investments get a lot of publicity, but when you think about reinvesting the MFI increase, price, product quality, right, IT, labor, there's a lot of things to invest in. Where do those other things rank relative to price? And then what does the international club pipeline look like? I'm thinking in particular where you control sites, even though they may be years away. Is that I don't think it's over 100, but how big is that pipeline today?
Yeah, thanks, John. I'll jump in first, and Ron may want to add some color as well. I think overall, we look at the reinvestment of the membership fee holistically. So it's partly where is it that we can lower prices, of course. Part of it's where can we mitigate the impact of inflation to maintain the value for the member, even if costs are increasing. It's how can we improve the membership experience, including investing in our employees' wages, as we've done recently as well. And of course, innovation with new products through Kirkland Signature. So I think we tend to look at it holistically and say, how do we make sure that when we think about what our members are paying for the membership fee each year, that we're delivering more value and showing them that they're getting greater value than they're paying by a meaningful margin for the value of being a member. Ron, anything you want to add on that?
No, I think that's accurate. And an expansion around the world, I think you'll continue to see an equal amount of 30 warehouses opening up over the next few years for sure. A good portion of those being out of the U.S. We see some great opportunities in Canada and Mexico have been strong countries for us. We continue to see growth opportunities both in Europe and Asia as well. So some of these projects take a lot longer than other ones will, so they'll come on at different times. But I think the outline of 30 a year seems very realistic, and a good portion of those, not quite half, to be outside of the U.S.
Thank you.
Wow, that's incredible growth all around for Costco, especially 30 stores a year outside the U.S. They're branching out, baby. Looking good.
Good afternoon, and thanks for taking my question. So I just wanted Gary to go back to your comment that core margins ex gas were up 17 basis points, and you called out mix and credit card co-brand program. Is there any more color you can provide in terms of what's driving that?
Sure. Yeah. Thanks, Rupesh. Overall, as you mentioned it, we were pleased with where reported gross margin rate came in. We tend to look at it ex gas deflation, as you know, and that was up 7 basis points, and then core on core was up 3. So I think the overall message is that things were stable when we look at the gross margin rate. There were a number of puts and takes in that largely offset each other within the overall results. The main headwind, as we signaled potentially could be the case, was around gas, which was impacted by the fact that we had a major event, obviously 12 months ago or so in the Middle East that created volatility, and often that can create some strange margin performance, and we were cycling that. So that was the large headwind. I wouldn't say overall that we've seen in the long term gas margins be unpredictable. It just tends to be more unpredictable on an individual quarter when you have that volatility. So that was the sort of biggest headwind. And then offsetting that in the quarter, we had some benefit again this quarter from e-commerce as margins improved there, and the rate of improvement in e-commerce would have been largely similar to what we saw last quarter. So we were pleased with the progress we continue to see there. And then, as you mentioned in the core, we had a couple of offsets. We saw some benefit from mix as we look at the business. And then secondly, we saw some benefit from the co-brand credit card program, as you mentioned. Essentially, the way the credit card co-brand works is that we fund a portion of the rewards that are paid to members, and then we receive various incentives and payments from our issuing bank, and all that flows into gross margin. And essentially, the net effect of that was favorable for the quarter, which offset along with mix and the e-commerce benefits, the gas headwind. So as I mentioned, overall, I think there were no major takeaways from the puts and takes, but we were pleased that gross margin was up slightly, even though we continued to invest in lower prices and deliver more value for the member.
Great. Thank you for all the color. Happy holidays.
You too.
And your next question comes from the line of Peter Benedict with Baird. Your line is open.
Oh, hey guys, thanks for taking the question. I want to maybe Ron for you on the runway for growth in the U.S. You said 30 new clubs per year next handful of years here. Most of those are going to be in the U.S. You guys are just over 600 right now. I think if you include the other two players, we're talking about 1,400 plus clubs in the U.S. They're growing as well. How do you think about maybe the capacity for the club industry in the U.S. and maybe for Costco in particular? What are you seeing that gives you confidence in your ability to keep growing at this pace in the U.S.?
I think the one thing I see is continued success of operations like I spoke of Pleasanton, California, that we opened the day before Thanksgiving. Right in between three high-volume Bay Area locations in the East Bay, and we opened this warehouse up not long ago, and even finding significant incremental business from our members. As we relieve the pressure off of those high-volume warehouses, we see the existing member base coming more frequently, and the build back is quite nice for us. So we see incrementality of the new warehouse, and then we see very, very quick build back on those as well. So not only do we still see some opportunities, Scarborough, Maine, we opened over a year ago. Building has had a tremendous first year in a smaller market like that.
I just wanted to point out, guys, AVGO is sitting at 208.81. AVGO is at 207.77. This is absolutely nuts for AVGO.
Are relieving pressure off of some of these super high volume warehouses, and we're finding it to be incremental to the business.
Thank you very much.
And your next question comes from the line of Greg Millich with Evercore ISI. Your line is open.
Hey, thanks. I wanted to circle back on e-commerce, the growth there of 13%. Could you update us on what the penetration is now, and also how, if you add on Instacart and I guess the Uber Eats start, where we're getting up to on that?
Yeah, thanks, Greg, for the question. We were pleased with the growth that we saw in digital. I think it's important to remember as well, as we shared in the November sales release, that there was some impact of timing of calendar as well. So the 13%, if you think about, I think we shared, the team shared that we were like a 15% headwind in our November sales results. And so crudely, if you take about a third of that, you wouldn't be a million miles out with the impact that it would have had on our sales in the quarter as well. So we were pleased overall with the underlying trend, and the metrics that we saw around app downloads and traffic and average order were all up as well, which was encouraging. If you think about the mix of the business, it would be in the sort of from the numbers that we disclose publicly as being part of our digital business in the sort of 7 to 8% range of our total sales. So as you know, it continues to outpace our overall growth, and we expect that trend to continue. You're exactly right that when you recognize how we define it compared to how others define it, we wouldn't include some of those third-party sites that are delivering. And there's a few other parts of our business that we don't include in there as well that would fit in under other businesses. When we add those in there, and when you sort of strip out gas, which I think most companies do when they compare, we'd be north of 10% in terms of total penetration of e-commerce sales.
Got it. Thanks. And then maybe circling back on private label, could you just update us now on the penetration, especially given some of those great new items you've come out with that you highlighted earlier in the call, and what that could eventually be?
Yeah, I think it's up about 30, almost 33% at this point in the U.S. is where we've now hit. And that's primarily the food and sundry side of things where we see the majority of our private label. But we're just bumping up against 33%, and it's growing a little faster than the rest of the business.
That's great, guys. Have a great holiday.
You as well.
You too. Thank you.
And your next question comes from the line of Scott Mushkin with R5 Capital. Your line is open.
Thanks. Hey, guys. Thanks for taking my questions. So I just wanted to kind of maybe ask a higher level question around your business. The traffic growth, which is the lifeblood of a retailer, has been very strong given the size of the company. You talked about the Pleasanton opening. So I was wondering if you kind of give us an idea of what you think is driving this. Is it the club format? generally resonating, consumer mindset initiatives, and how do we think it's like 2-4 years from now? Is it the numbers this time?
That's not on my end, guys.
You're
That's on
right.
his end.
We've lost you halfway through the questions. I'm sorry.
Yeah, that's on their end, guys. They're having a little trouble with this next speaker while they're breaking up. I just want to take a quick second out for myself. Hello. Hi, I'm Dave. Do me a favor, hit that like, hit that subscribe button, guys. We do all this for free. I'm here for you. I hope this causes you some joy or entertainment. Please hit that like and subscribe button. On Sunday, we have a watch list for you. It's going to be absolutely amazing. You don't want to miss it. Hit that like, hit that subscribe button. Join our free community. It's free, baby. It's FREE. Hit that like and subscribe, baby.
You made, I think it's all of the above. And some of the fun facts I gave out there was just really to point to the growth success we're seeing in several parts of our company, be it the pharmacy, the food court, our fresh foods area. I've got to contribute a big part of that to our buyers and operators and the work that they're doing and keeping relevance to the member needs and being reflective of what, we're focusing on some of the lower cost proteins for some of our members while we're focusing on the Wagyu for the members that would like those goods as well. So I think our people are doing a tremendous job knowing our customer, but it really is all parts of the business are contributing. Their tire business is very strong. Our non-food business continues to strengthen. E-commerce is doing their part. And it just goes back to execution from the teams.
And your next question comes from the line of Robbie Ohms with Bank of America. Your line is open.
Thank you. Thanks for taking my question. It's on the competitive impacts, so it may end up sounding like more than one question. But are there any competitive impacts you guys are seeing, worth calling out, benefits or headwinds? So maybe remind us when, a regional player you compete with raises their membership fee. Does that help you guys at all retain or retention rates, things like that? And also, I know you've been asked this, but any pressures you're seeing on the fact that you guys don't do scan and go and Sam's seems to be doing really well with it, and any other competitive impacts you can call out? Thanks.
Yeah, thanks for the question, Robbie. I think I think we're generally our own biggest competitor. Honestly, that's generally how we approach the business. Maybe the couple of trends that add some color on that I would call out would be we haven't talked for some time about cannibalizing our own business with opening new warehouses, and as Ron mentioned, generally we're seeing significant incrementality. But as we have opened more warehouses, we certainly create some of that. We don't split it out in our numbers. We just flow through our results, but it does impact the number because we are moving some traffic from existing warehouses when we open a new one. I think from a competitive point of view, I guess the biggest tailwind I would call out, and Ron mentioned it briefly in prepared comments around our business, is that obviously we're seeing quite a lot of disruption in the retail pharmacy business right now. And I think with the work our teams are doing to deliver great value for the member and continuing to improve the experience and make it easier to engage with our pharmacists, as I mentioned in my prepared comments, we're seeing significant growth in that business today. I think that's partly the work that we're doing, and partly I think there is some disruption in the industry currently as well.
And just any comments on Scan and Go, and maybe remind us why that might not be on your agenda?
I think we've got, our job is, as Gary said, to take care of the members and make sure that they move through. Do we hear about Scan and Go? Yes, we do. Self-checkout has been a great option for our members, and we focus on that. Our job really is that we will continue to keep an eye on technology and how we can improve that front-end experience. That is the one pinch point. That was the focus of our door scanners, is we took a lot of pressure off of the cashiers and moving lines through, and saw some nice productivity enhancements when we did that. But at this point, it's not something we're hearing quite often. We do hear it randomly, but we're going to keep an eye out there on technology and make sure that we're doing our part to keep the experience as strong as we can for our members.
Great, thank you.
You're very welcome.
And your next question comes from the line of Michael Lasser with UBS. Your line is open.
Good evening. Thank you so much for taking my question. Given the recent sales contribution from categories like precious metals and gift cards, have you A, expanded the aperture of what Costco is now willing to sell or what the member is willing to buy from Costco? And B, have you changed your philosophy on the margin where you are expecting more profitability from traditional product vendors to offset the negative margin impact from selling these items that don't drive a lot of profit? Thank you very much.
I think as far as new categories, you go back to caskets that we started many years ago that we would have never thought would have been a business for us, and we were able to find a way to deliver great member value and great quality.
Did you say caskets?
That was such as the addition to gasoline we had many years ago in the company as well. Is that can we find something that meets the needs of our members, ensure we can deliver the right quality and the great price? So I think the tickets and precious metals was, again, great work by our buying teams and finding new areas that we can deliver great quality and great value to our members. And I see them working hard on the next categories that are going to be coming for us. But that's part of the treasure hunt at Costco, is always keeping nimble and continue to change those categories that we can find new areas to improve the lives of our members.
Yeah, maybe Ron, just to add on that, Michael, to your question of, I think we'd give a bit more credit, in addition to Ron's point about it's great work by our merchants creating new and exciting items. We give a bit more credit, I think, to the impact they have on the business, not necessarily because we see significant margin, as you mentioned, from them, but they're driving significant traffic to our website, and we do get a high proportion of cross-selling when members are buying things like precious metals. So it's driving our ability to grow our digital business overall. And I think we see it as something that also just creates a lot of awareness about our e-commerce business as well. So as you know, we don't advertise, but it's identifying these exciting items that help drive traffic and awareness of what Costco offers. So, and I think some of that is a factor in what helps with the continued growth in e-commerce, not just from a top-line perspective, but also the margin improvement that we talked about on the call. So I think, we would look at it a little bit more broadly for sure.
But just to clarify that second point, are you having to offset the margin impact from selling these traffic driving items that don't carry a lot of margin?
Dan Bob says caskets it's just a dead business.
On the rest of the assortment?
No, what we're seeing is we're driving a mix improvement overall because of the traffic that it's driving and the engagement with the website. And remember, of course, as well, that there's very low SG&A costs associated with that product, so it also helps create leverage in the e-commerce model as well.
So the answer is really no. We're not making more margin on those other items to offset that. We're just driving down our SG&A, so we don't require more margin.
Thank you very much, and have a good holiday.
You as well. Thank you.
And your next question comes from the line of Chuck Grom with Gordon Haskett. Your line is open.
Hey, thanks very much. Ron, can you...
We only got a few more questions here left for Costco's earnings. If you are enjoying your stay, please hit that like and that subscribe button. It helps the algorithm out a lot. My whole reason for being here is to have a show, and we have a show, baby. So thank you for being here. Appreciate you. Hit that like and subscribe. We only have a few more phone calls left, and Costco's earnings will be over with.
Sure thing. Chuck, your question was, why are we gaining more market share with our affluent customer? Is that what your question was?
No, my question is, do you think you've earned the right to earn more wallet share with that higher income shopper?
Absolutely. I think we do. I think, as we continue to find the brands, and deliver also with great quality Kirkland signature, we will continue to see that growth in that customer. We resonate, that is our member, and that's who we cater our mixes to. And I think that we see great runway for us in the future.
And then, Chuck, on the second part of your question, so with the 2% rewards, think of it as that throughout the year, we're accruing what we believe is the right amount of redemption for the 2% rewards. And generally speaking, we're going to be conservative around that because we want to make sure
we are at the closing price of Costco. No change has been made.
If you like, what the actual spend was. So I'd almost think of the adjustment this quarter sort of offsetting the increases that we saw in the back half of last year. And so you have to net those out to say underlying there is a gradual increase in the 2% spend, but it kind of nets off between quarter by quarter.
Okay, so it was essentially a true up then.
Right.
Okay, great. Awesome. Thank you.
And your next question comes from the line of Kelly Bania with BMO Capital Markets. Your line is open.
Hi, thanks for taking our questions, Ron and Gary. Was wondering if you could just talk a little bit about your partnerships with Instacart and Uber, now that you've had Uber for quite some time. What you've learned, what is the pace of growth and how that's adding to comps, and just general awareness among your membership base of the service there, particularly as you add new services, like you mentioned, the pharmacy, I guess, coming in and what something like that could do to the growth there.
Yeah, I guess I will start with that. Very strong partnerships with both organizations. We've closely looked at what the behaviors of the members were and found great incrementality to our members. Shop frequency goes way up, and it changes the shopping habits. I think they'll use us more for a fill-in between their big Costco brick and mortar shop to go into an Instacart or an Uber and shop those directions. So I think that we're finding that it's the most cost-effective way to do some small non-food item deliveries as well, where we would have otherwise shipped those via UPS or a carrier from a distribution center. We can now have those to a member within a few hours. So if you're looking for a blender that will fit in the back of a Prius, we can get that to you in a couple of hours at a very low cost. So it's improving our e-commerce delivery speed and time to the member, and convenience is there as well. So we're very happy with the partnership. Our head merchant works very closely with both of those organizations, and we think it's a great service for their members.
I guess the only thing to add, Kelly, is the first part of your question, it continues to grow very strongly, so at least in line with the pace that we see in our digital business overall.
Yep. Slightly higher than our
COST currently
e-commerce.
trading at $989.99. COST Costco trading at $989.99.
Your line is open.
Good afternoon, everyone. Could you talk a little bit about labor relations and the current negotiations with the Teamsters, please?
I guess, Chuck, what I will say about that is that at Costco, we will always take care of our employees as we always have done. That means that we're going to focus on a fair and a timely process for getting to an agreement with the Teamsters. We have a 40-year track record of dealing fairly with the Teamsters Union, and really nothing has changed about that. So these are Costco employees. They're of great importance to us, and we're going to do everything as we can to take care of those employees as we do all of our employees.
Great, thank you.
And your next question comes from the line of Corey Tarlow with Jefferies. Your line is open.
Hi, good afternoon, and thanks for taking my question. I was wondering if you could talk a little bit about the international performance that you saw. Comps decelerated on a multi-year stack versus Q4. So just curious by region if there's anything to call out that changed versus the prior quarters. Thank you.
Get this guy a Costco coffee. Wake up, boy.
Yeah, thanks for the question, Corey. I don't think there's anything we'd be particularly calling out. I mean, there's certainly some nuances sometimes between some of the international markets of when certain holidays fall, and they would have had, I'll give you an example, which I wasn't familiar with before joining the company and having recent conversations, that in Taiwan there's a big impact from the holiday season in the same way there is here around Black Friday. And so there are nuances like that we see in individual markets that sometimes can affect the calendar. But overall, we've been pleased with the momentum that we've seen in the international businesses, and we continue to see strong growth relative to both our own internal expectations and then also as we look at the growth in those markets, how we continue to grow our market share. So nothing I would call out as being unusual there.
Thank you.
And we have time for one more question. Your final question comes.
Last question, guys. Last question. Pay attention here. Make sure you hit that like and subscribe.
It's a follow-up on your digital business, which obviously is growing well, but how would senior management diagnose or grade your online presence from a look, feel, and function perspective relative to your competition? And related to that, this growth in members who are joining online, is that something you're driving, or is that just an output of the attractiveness of your online offer?
Yeah, thanks for the question. I think, again, I'll say we're probably our own toughest critic. I think when we look at our business overall and we look at the growth over the last 10 years, we've actually grown at a faster pace than the e-commerce sort of business in the US has grown in general. So in one respect, we're very pleased with the momentum and the growth that we've seen and continuing to see that higher engagement. But we're never satisfied. We believe there's more work we can do to keep improving the member experience. We made recent changes with things like search functionality and making inventory available through the mobile app, and those changes are certainly members are seeing the benefit of that and commenting positively on the changes that we're seeing. But we know that we're on a technology journey. We've sort of been building the foundations of that journey over the last few years, and the goal is to keep getting better and to keep enhancing the member experience. So I'd say we still believe there's more work to do, and we believe by doing that work we can continue growing our digital business even more effectively.
And I would add to that, we realize that we do have some opportunity. They definitely see that we can continue to improve. Gary's exactly right. We're doing the back of the house work at this point, speed, stability, making sure that all the foundational work is done so we can build on that. And then I think in short order, people will start seeing the front side of things that will come in. But I think COSTCO Logistics is a great example of the progress we've made. We are now able to pre-deploy things around the U.S. and have deliveries made in 4 days, which a couple of years ago would have taken us 2 weeks. So we're seeing the distribution centers coming online. We're starting to see the app usage go way up. Functionality is being added to that as well. So it's a journey. We're going to start seeing some more forward-facing improvements in the next 12 months as we sort of start putting our logistics sides behind us and we get those things taken care of. And as far as the e-commerce engagement with membership signups, probably the biggest difference is that we have less executive members sign up online, which do renew at a higher basis. And I think the big part of that is that they don't have an employee to talk to when they're making that transaction, and they don't understand all the benefits of the executive membership. So we're able to capture those later on in the path. And but that's the first thing we see there is that at least we start engaging with as a member, and then we will work on showing them the benefits of the executive membership down the road.
Got it. Thank you.
All right, well, that about wraps it up, folks. Thank you so much for joining me today. That was COSTCO earnings. I hope you enjoyed yourself. I hope you had fun and enjoyed your stay here. If you haven't already, make sure you hit that like and hit that subscribe button. We do this for you absolutely free. If you missed any of it, you can rewind it back. It is saved in the YouTube. So thank you guys so much for being here. We got over 246 views today on this earnings, so this was a good choice. And let me know in the Discord what you guys want to hear next week when we do our earnings. There's always plenty out there. But I tell you what, listening to COSTCO, listening to everything that was said, seeing the double beat that came in, hearing that they basically blew everything out of the water except for gasoline, which they're still bringing people in because they have gas, right? It's just another reason why people go to Costco. And while they're filling up, they go buy more groceries, right? So it's just another added cost. They're doing absolutely amazing. What really perked my interest was 30 new stores a year. I don't know if you guys have been to a Costco. I did ask you on this poll. You have 4 votes so far. Do you shop at Costco? So far, the few that have voted on the poll have said no. I am one of those people. I don't go to Costco. If my buddy finds a deal for me, he'll buy it for me. I'll pay him back later. But I don't personally go to Costco to seek out my deals. So they still have an untapped group of people out there that they have not touched. But 30 new stores, and they're primarily being built outside the United States. That's huge growth potential. Not to mention, they have made a ton of money off their pharmacies now. I wouldn't expect that. Pharmacy. And they have plenty of other ways that they're doing their absolute best to earn that money. So it's very interesting to not only see Costco kick butt, but they are thriving right now. They are absolutely thriving. So I expect Costco to continue. One thing that was happening in the background while we were watching Costco is AVGO. We even talked about this retest area, and I wanted to see it tomorrow morning because if it holds off very nice, I wanted to get into this retest area as it breaks out higher. You guys can see here on the daily, this is the line. This was the base breakout that I was talking about. And then if we zoom in on the hourly, you can see that it came down and retested that base breakout. And now look, AVGO closing today at 181, but currently its price is 205.31. So absolute huge kaboomy to the north side there, as COST just trading sideways. It's actually right where it closed, so right at that break even. Congratulations, Dan Bob. Bob Dan, the greatest bot to ever moderate the greatest show that is out there. So guys, thank you so much for being here. As you guys know, on the way out, I'd like to say goodbye to anybody that made a comment. So we're going to go ahead and end this poll now. 83% say you don't shop at Costco. Well, guess what? That's 83% of untapped revenue for Costco, because if we're going to do something, we're going to do it right, baby. And we're going to go buy our cheese puffs in a backpack, because the 50-gallon drum comes with straps so you can carry it out of Costco. Thank you guys so much for being here. You guys are absolutely awesome. We are so close to being able to get paid now from the ad revenue because of your service, because you guys keep showing up and giving me that watch time hour. So thank you. I love you guys. You guys are absolutely awesome. And we will see you guys this Sunday for our meeting. We have a meeting this Sunday so we can create a watch list and we can make sure everybody is happy and healthy. So we will see you guys very, very soon. And if you don't know, I like to say goodbye to anybody that has made a comment in here. So stick around so I can give you your shout out. All right, guys, thank you so much, Yosef, for swinging in. You've been in from the start, baby. Let's go, Dan, Bob, Dan, the greatest moderator live. You better believe it, baby. Jimmy Bright is always in here, just lurking in the background, waiting for me to say something stupid. I'm sure of it. Just kidding. Jimmy Bright, thank you so much for being here. I appreciate you. B. Stewie, as always, my day one, my man, the myth, the legend, the beefiest of stews. Who else did we have in here today? It looks like we had Tarek Roddy. I'm not sure if I'm saying it right, but I do appreciate you being here. Thank you so much for stopping by. Daniel Perez, I appreciate you swinging by. Holy cow, he has been everywhere. Jamaica, Honduras, Belize, Caribbean, and it looks like he's going to Alaska next. That is awesome. That's getting exciting. Cesar Gonzalez. Cesar Gonzalez. Thank you so much for swinging on in. Thank you for being with us during these Costco earnings. Alex Barros, I'm glad that we earned your subscription. We hope to see you on the next earnings. If you want to, join our Discord for absolutely $0.00. Tanner W. also said he subscribed. Thank you so much for being here, brother. Thank you. I hope you made it to the end. JP, thank you for swinging on in, asking for my thoughts. And Zamora, as always, you are the best, girly. I hope you guys have an awesome day. I hope you guys have an awesome weekend. We'll catch you on Sunday. Stay true to your risk management and your discipline so we can learn to trade another day. And remember, you're a loser unless you're learning. Love you guys. Peace.